Hello, and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and where you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I am your girl Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I loves me some tea. Her. And I also do enjoy my cup mug here. I have it here sitting by handy. And you can get you one at lonagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And if you look to the right of the screen, there is a QR code and it'll take you right to the shop. So get your cup mug, favorite the shop. Send me a little message saying you like it and a picture after you get it because that'd be cute. And get your cup mug because we do ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses. Get your cup mug and thank you.
Well, I'm David Healy, and Lana, we are married. We are going to the final two. That's it. We're married.
That's it. We're married. Don't even think about it.
That's old news, though.
I will say this. Just you know what's funny? That's
What?
not as old as you think because somebody said that this week on the show you did not watch.
Ooh. Oops.
So we are married. And that's it. That's it.
Yep.
Don't, and if I ever see you with talking to anybody else,
Never.
we have a problem. Yeah. Now that was from this week's episode that I'm going to talk about
Okay.
later.
Well, you
But
did. You did talk to other people last week without me.
it was you went away.
I
You
know. I was in
left me.
Grenada.
You
I was
left
on an
me, David.
island,
Like living a beach life and everything. And I'm like
getting a
sitting
sunburn.
sitting at home like, man, I guess I'll talk to these people. No, no, I love Brooke and thanks Brooke and Logan for stepping in and helping out on the show. It was fun. It was great, but it's great to have you back, David.
Good to be back.
Oh, yeah,
Picked a
we
good
got
time to come back too. So
it
good,
is
good
a good
episode.
time. It's a good week. We got a lot of stuff to cover. We got a whole week of highlights of reality shows that we need to round up and run it down for you because we really just figured out we didn't really know what we called the show. If it was reality roundup or reality rundown, but I think it's kind of both. We landed on both because we go round up the
Yep.
week and give you the rundown on what happened.
Exactly.
Period. Okay. But yeah, we are here talking all about what's going on in this week of reality television, competitive reality television. And it's been a great week, and I can't wait to talk about it. But before we do, we need you to do us a favor. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already, because we are here giving you all things competitive reality television. We are talking all these shows, amazing shows. And it's been, reality TV has been fun. It's been fun this week. I will say this has been a fun, good week in reality
It's been fun.
television. We had
It's been
some new
heartbreaking
things.
too.
It's been heartbreaking. We had some new things popping up. We had some old things sticking around, and we had some shows say goodbye. So we had a lot of fun things going on this week on reality television, and we would love to share that with all of you. So if you are a fan of that, if that's your gig, if that's your zhuzh, subscribe to this channel because we are trying to get 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year. We're halfway there, and we want to just continue to get there. So continue to subscribe, continue to follow, continue to watch. We'd love that. Give us feedback on this show, especially because y'all, we are trying to see if this is something we should stick to. We're giving it some time and we're, working out the kinks and making sure everything works. But this is new for us too. So if you're enjoying it, let us know in the comments. Let us know if we should switch some things up or just scrap it all together. You're like, nah, we don't want it. We could take it. We would hate to see y'all say that to us, but we'll take it like the grown-ups that we are if y'all can't stand it. But I know you love it because you love us, right? Things. But subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so, and all of our other channels. All the links will be in the description below in our link tree, as well as our audio podcast links, our Patreon, all of our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. And yeah, we would love to hear you follow us and chat it up with us. We would love that. So oh, David, what a week for you to come back and get back into this
Hmm.
whole situation we got going on over here. And as usual, I think we just need to start off where we always start off because that's the best place to start off. So let's sing a little bit. We're going to jump right into all of our thoughts and we'll start off with the show that started it off. American Idol. What do we think? It is the second round of the top 20. We got the next top 10 people to sing this week, with our special guest Kiki Palmer and Brad Paisley as mentors, and Kiki as a judge as well. I'm going to say this. I think this week was better than last week's. I think this week had a lot more. I had more people who I was like, period, period, period. Last week was really good. This top 20 is good. I'm gonna just be for
Mhm.
real. This top 20 is good, but I think this week they put a lot of the heavy hitters in this one week, and it was really, really good. I thought everybody did good except maybe two people.
Yeah, I think I might know the two. I have like two or three that were kind of lower for me.
Hmm.
And the sad thing is, like, knowing only three people or three people are getting cut from each group,
Yeah,
like, I'm bound to have something happen where I'm disappointed. Like,
yeah.
there's going to be a shocker, and
Hmm.
so I'm a little nervous. But I think this group is extremely talented. This is shaping up to be one of the best group of contests. Like, if America gets this right, we can
Yes.
have an incredible top 10.
Absolutely. Absolutely agree with you. I think it's I cannot I cannot wait to see this top 10, but I can't wait to see what they do, how America voted for this 20 to get cut down to 16, 14,
Yeah, 14.
14, which is
Yep.
oof, but ooh, scary. So what do we think about this week? Who was your highlights this week?
Yeah, like I said, there were three kind of weaker ones for me, and then two that I thought were good. But I really had five standouts.
Okay.
So I'll start with my fifth, and you can jump in and tell me what you thought about them as well. So fifth for me is somebody who I thought has been very consistent up until now, and that's Jordan McCullough. He's saying, "I still haven't found what I'm looking for" by U2. I
Hmm.
thought he was very brave to start off the song like almost a cappella. Like there's like a
Hmm.
very faint musical line in the background. I don't know that he perfectly nailed it. To me, I don't know if he heard the key that it was in, and to me, he sounded slightly flat. Like ever, like most. I don't think most ears could pick it up how flat it sounded to me.
Hmm.
But even with that in the beginning, I still thought his voice was really strong, and I thought this was a good song choice for him. He really like. I think it would take a lot for him to do wrong in my eyes because I think he's just such a good singer. He really knows his voice well. He knows how to do all the runs. So I thought this was really good. It was probably the weakest thing I've seen from him so far, but it's still in my top five. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
I
agree.
can't complain
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think I did hear the what you were saying about how the pitchiness, his flatness. I think he was very much slightly under the pitch, but I also feel like it was not him just not hearing. I think it was just the tone of his voice and how he
Mm,
sings. He sings with a very round tone, and so when he was rounding his tone out, it didn't quite get up to that pitch. So I think it was that too, but it was so he only did it like twice that it didn't even matter because how he ended that song and how he progressed his way through that song was brilliant. It was so like
mhm.
I've been singing it since yesterday when I watched it because I watched it last night and I went to bed singing and I still haven't found what I'm because
It's a great
it
song.
just hit. It's a great song. Number one, you two. Come on, you can't get no better. Great song, but then the way he changed it and flipped it and made it more Jordan instead of you two, he made it Jordan instead of Bono, which I was like, period. And it was so I loved, and this is what I'm talking about when you get to a point in a competition, then you can start doing things and getting emotional, and it doesn't matter. And he at least held on to his emotions till he got to the very end of the song and he was
Hmm.
already finishing it out. That is what I'm talking about.
That part.
You have to hold on, you have to almost be stoic until you, because singing is an emotional thing. You're going to get emotional, and I think he just did it perfectly. And I think with the message that he was portraying with that song, and then coming to having the realization that he has found what he's looking for. It's ironic that he's singing, "I still haven't found what I'm looking for," but I have found it, and I found it right here on this stage, right in this moment, right in front of all these people. That's an emotional moment for him, and he did it perfectly. I thought, yeah, pitchy at the beginning, yeah, but don't even care. I thought he was
Yeah,
great. He was definitely in my
agreed.
top five. Definitely in my top five.
Yeah, he better go through. He better
He
get the win.
has to go through. Like I would be devastated if he does not go through.
Yep. Should I do my
Yeah.
fourth?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
So there's a few people that I've been a little tough on, like people that I've liked, but I've been critical about certain aspects. And I think both, like two people I have in mind, proved why I've been tough on them. And the first one is Abayomi. I've been saying that she sounds really good, but she's not, like, she feels like she's mimicking the way other people sing a lot.
Hmm.
This is the first week where I'm like, that's your voice that I'm hearing. That's not somebody else's voice copied and pasted onto a song. She sang "Mama Knows Best" by Jessie J, and this was so dang good. This was my favorite thing she's done so far.
Yes.
She The arrangement, she took it, she made it like, I mean, it's already kind of has a big band feel to it, but she added this specific like big band, like nasty, like
Bluesy.
scat.
She gave us a
Yeah,
bluesy
bluesy.
kind of feel. Oh,
She gave us a like she took me back to a juke joint, I think, singing this
yes,
song. Like
absolutely.
I could see like a jukebox musical where it's like in the like 1920s, and
Hmm.
she's singing the song in like a like a bar or something. She
Yeah.
was so good. I really like this, and it just shows that like when you get it right,
Hmm.
you can really shine. And I think she's absolutely getting it right. And I hope she keeps this momentum because she could
Hmm.
be a huge force in this
Absolutely.
competition.
Absolutely. I could not agree with you more. I think she was beautiful. And like they said, 16 years old, disgusting. Like just like disgustingly good for she took that, and you're right, it's such a juke joint moment. Like I could see her on that stage with the smoke around her and the band behind her, and she got her microphone and she was
Flapper.
just, yes, and she her flapper dress, and she just, mama knows, like it was so
Ooh.
good. It was so good. I was so proud of her. I was like, because I agree with you, she was very copy paste a lot of these the seasons so far, and it's like she's got a good voice, but we don't know who her voice is or what her voice is. We know what she sounds like covering people, but what does Abiomi sound like? And baby, she showed us what Abiomi sounded like. She was so good. She was so all overall, like she performed, not just
Mhm.
sang. Because there's a couple of people who on this episode that I was like, oh, they just sound so good, but they didn't give a great performance. She sounded good and gave a great performance. She was all over that stage. She was in the front, she was down, she was back. Her mom and her grandmama was adding the fuel to her fire. She was so good. I was very happy for her. I was like, this is her best performance yet, for sure.
Agreed. Man, and that scatting really caught me off guard. I was like, I did not expect that.
She ate that
um,
up. She ate that
she did.
up.
Okay, I'll tell you my third. My third was Philman Lee singing "Don't Stop Believing" by Journey.
Please stay
Um,
off my list. This is literally in the same order.
really, that's so funny.
Literally in the same order.
Yeah,
Uh,
like this is a person who knows their voice and what style they should be doing. Like this is a perfect type of song for them. And I love how it was like a really soft beginning and
hmm.
then really built up to the power and like started using his head voice a bit more in the end instead of the falsetto at the beginning. He's such a great singer. Like to me,
Hmm.
I don't know if this is a hot take. He's almost reminding me of like a better version of Taylor Swift or
Ooh,
Taylor Hicks. Taylor Hicks,
Taylor
not Taylor
Hicks.
Swift.
I'm about to say Taylor
Yes.
Swift. Wow.
Yeah, that would be wild,
Wow.
wouldn't it?
But
Taylor
yeah.
Hicks. Like they're
Yeah.
similar style, but I
Hmm.
feel like Taylor was more of a showman,
Yes.
and I think Philman's more of a vocalist. And
Yes.
he's probably one of the people, like you said, that could stand to do a little bit more with his performance.
He is exactly what I was going to say. His performance level
Mhm.
needs to step up just a little bit, but vocally he got it, and I can see that. I can see the whole Taylor Hicks uh comparison. I can definitely see that, but he has to be a little bit more of a showman. He's a he just got to come out of shell a little bit. But vocally, he was so impressive. That's what I wrote in my notes. I said he is so impressive. And he wasn't completely on my radar. Remember when the top 30, when we did the top 30 and you
Yep.
mentioned him, and I was like, I wasn't there with him. He wasn't on my radar for really. But then he just jumped onto my radar for sure in this week. And I was like, oh, and he started to show off, and he was so good. It wasn't a whole lot. He didn't do a whole lot, but he did a whole lot. And then that
Mm.
means he sang a whole lot. He didn't have to do nothing. And it was smooth. It was buttery. It was velvety. It was nice. It was just, I was like, Philemon, hold on. Was I just not paying attention? Because were you like this the whole time? Because he ate that up, and I was very
Yeah.
impressed
I
with
don't know if
him.
they even showed him much in the beginning.
They hadn't
I
to. They
don't know.
couldn't have. I couldn't have just overlooked him like this. Or
Yeah,
maybe I
I don't
did. I don't know. I don't know.
know.
But
Okay. We'll see if we have the same top two. My number
mhm.
two, another person I think has been so consistent, one of the best vocalists this season. It's my girl Ray, singing
That's my
Respect by
number two. That's literally two
Okay.
on my list. Get out of here.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I think we have the same number one.
We
Um,
probably do.
yeah. This girl, I think her voice is so versatile. Like she loves singing her like old soul songs, like
Mhm.
Aretha. She loves that, which is exactly what Kelly Clarkson did on the show. And
Mhm.
she's giving me very much season one American Idol Kelly Clarkson vibe. Which I mean, watch out. We saw
Watch
how that
out
worked out
now.
for Kelly.
Yes.
But yeah, I thought her voice was incredible this week. This is some of the best vocals she's showed so far, especially the end when she was just like on her knees, like squatting there, like just giving every single bit of power and passion she had. Do not sleep on Ray too. I think she is somebody who could win this show.
Oh, absolutely. Ray is a winner. I don't know if she gonna win this show, but she is a winner, period. Because this girl walked out onto this stage, and she looked every bit of a pop star. Like, she looked the part. And then she opened her mouth and she sang the part. And then she started performing around the stage, and she had the audience hooked and entertained from the moment she opened her mouth and did that respect she slowed down, respect and stripped it down. And I was like, ooh, ooh, okay, what you got? And then she brought it, and then she started performing it, and it was so good. It was so good to like. She has been one of my favorites since the start. She is very consistent. Her voice is absolutely amazing. I could see her on a record cover. I could see her on her promotional tour posters. I could see her out there just doing it. Her record is going to be
Mhm.
amazing. People are going to be streaming it like crazy because she has a crazy sick voice. Yeah, that one is one to watch.
For
Definitely
sure.
one to watch for sure.
Mhm. Okay, my number one. So this is another person I've been a little tough on because
Not me.
I've said, I know, I've said in the past, I don't think she's picking the right songs always. This week, she picked the perfect song, and it's our girl, Keela Richardson, singing with a little help from my friends. This is what I was waiting for. This is the moment. I think this is a performance I'm going to remember for years to come, to be honest. Um, she did just enough switch up to the arrangement and the melody to really make it her own. And the whole time I was watching, I'm like, I feel like you have been possessed by one of my favorite American Idol winners ever, Fantasia Barrino. And so when Kiki mentioned that at the end, I'm like, yes, girl, because like I want to see them do a duet. It would be
They have to.
incredible.
They have
Yes,
to.
they do. She just went for it, and I think she really fed off the audience energy too. I'm sure she
Mhm.
saw everybody was living their best life, and she kicked it into high gear. Gave performance, gave vocals, gave me chills. This was incredible. Easily my number one.
Keela has never done any wrong for me this entire season. I have been on the Keela train from the first moment she walked into that audition room, and it has never wavered for me. I don't think she has ever picked a bad song. I'm like, even my sister was like, I don't think I like this. I was like, girl, I don't know what you're talking about. I think she picks perfect songs every single time. I love her. I will say, this is the first time that I had anything critique wise to say about Keela. And the
Ooh.
only thing is, because she got so caught up in this moment, in this beautifulness that was happening, she got a little wild and out of control with her vocals.
Yep.
Just the
Especially
end
at
at
the
the end.
very end.
At the end, she just got a little caught out of control. And she gonna have to learn how to rein that in and control that. But in that moment, who cared? Because she had took everybody to a whole nother level of she just took everybody so far out the stratosphere of just singing to just another level of magic. So it didn't really matter. But in the future, she's going to have to learn. That's a live performance. That's a great live performance. You can go out of control, and your fans, and they go always care about that, and they ain't gonna worry about it. But people who are not your fans, you still want them to vote for you at the end in this competition. And so you go have to get fans, and it's gonna be hard to get fans because a lot of people, I hate to say it, too much. She just yelling, she just screaming, she not doing, because some people who don't jive with that type of sound, and they're stuck in their own other world of music, and that's
Mhm.
noise to
Cookie
them.
cutter,
Yeah,
cookie cutter
yeah.
white pop. Yep.
Country pop, very clean, very in a box. They hear that type of, well, I hear gospel more, just, well, we hear that all the time. I don't think it's noise. I think, oh, she just got caught up. It's cool. Other people hear it as noise. So she's gonna have to learn how to, if she wants to get those votes of those people, which you probably definitely do, just rein it in just a little. But do I care? Do me personally care? Absolutely not, because I know exactly what that is. And I know exactly what happened to her on that stage. She even posted later, was like, my feet got a little light when I was singing that song. We were like, yes, girl, because you felt it in your whole soul. And the spirit was taking you higher and higher. And she took everybody with her. This was a phenomenal performance from Keela. And I was so proud of, like, everything about this was amazing. There was, I loved every second, and she looked great. And then I was talking to Nisha about it. I was like, I wonder, because Nisha said the same thing, like she just loses a little control and she seems a little tight sometimes, and it just lacks a little. I was like, I wonder what will happen when she gets her braces removed, because I wonder
Yeah.
if her braces tighten the jaw a little bit so she can't fully, move. When her braces come off, she is going to have a range of motion in her mouth that is going to be so much bigger. And if we already talking about how great and big she is now, what happens when her jaw is free? When her mouth is free? I think she is doing well with the braces, but without the brace,
Mm. Unstoppable.
yo, unstoppable. She's unreal to me. Keela ate this. Like, if this wasn't the best performance of the night in everybody's eyes, I don't understand what you're watching.
Yeah,
She was
I
great.
agree. For me, though, like, so obviously those five are the ones I want to see move on. Two more people have to move on from this group. Personally, I would go with Madison Moon, who sang Since You've Been Gone, which I
Hmm.
thought was really good. And then Julian Kalel, who sang Tourniquet by Zach Bryan. Those would be
Hmm.
my next two. I thought Chris Tunkseth would be somebody I would want through, but I didn't think his rendition of Apologize quite worked for me. So yeah, that's who I would go
I
with.
I like Chris. I understand why he's not in the one you want to move on. I like Madison. I do. I think she's a great performer. I felt
Mhm.
like this song wasn't the right song for her. And even though everybody
Right.
was like, this was so great, I don't think this was the right song for her. I think she reached for the stars because she's so used to singing the highest things and she could do it. And she hit it, but it was shrill. And it was not
Mhm.
good to
Yeah,
my ears to hear when she
exactly.
hit the note. So I'm kind of like, I feel like she's living in this high raptor because they told her it was good when she did it and took that song up. But she can still bring it down. She can still bring it down, and
Hmm.
I wish she would bring it down a little bit and try not to do that because we don't. I don't know what she sounds like
Right.
when she's not trying to hit the stars every single time. Like, come, let us breathe,
I said
girl.
it was a bit screamy in my notes.
Yes, it felt very screamy. I like Julian too. It was what was the other guy? Was it
There
Lucas?
was Lucas Leon who sang just to see you smile.
Right. I liked him.
Okay.
I liked him. I thought his voice was very soothing and
Mhm.
calm. And one of those voices that if he's in a room full of a big crowd of people, he shushes the crowd and he makes them listen to him instead of, he's not going to give you the big performance, but you want to sit and be like, ooh, but I like
Yeah,
it.
that's fair.
So I think he has the potential to shush a crowd and make them listen. Honestly, I think all of them did really good. My only one that I did not like was Ruby Ray,
Ruby
and
Ray.
I
Yeah.
didn't. I felt like her version of that song was like a very nice karaoke
Kids
version.
Bop.
Very karaoke, like everybody sings that song, and she just sang it, and it was like, oh, she can sing in a karaoke bar. Like, you know how when you go to a karaoke bar and somebody can sing really good, and they come up and sing, you're like, yeah,
Yep.
that's what it felt like. That performance to me, it just wasn't hit, and I'm
Yep.
sad because I really did like her in the auditions rounds.
Yeah, I think in a different venue this would kill. But yeah, I don't think she's quite at the level as most of the other people in the
Yeah,
top
no,
20.
no, I think she probably this needs to be the end of the road for her.
Yeah. I think it will be.
I think
She's
so
the
too.
one person I will be surprised if they move on.
Yeah, if she moves on, I'll be like, huh? Okay. But anyway, we're gonna
Speaking of
move on.
moving on,
We'll move on to The Voice because the round two of the battle, the last of the battle rounds, and I'm very interested. I think we didn't discuss what we felt about these rounds beforehand, so I'm interested to see if we feel the same way.
mhm. Yeah, I went ahead and I ranked all of them based on how much I like the battle as a whole. So some
Hmm.
of the battles I like because they're really even and well matched against each other. Some of the
Hmm.
battles I like because one person nailed it
Yes,
and the other
yes.
one might have been fine. But I'm just going to start with my lowest one. So number 8 for me was Abigail Oakley versus Julia Golden for Team Kelly.
Hmm.
They sang Rhiannon by Fleetwood Mac. I mean, I thought they sounded good, but it's just not a performance I'm going to remember. It was just a little bit forgettable for me. I think Julia has like a little bit more unique of a tone than Abigail, so I would have picked Julia, but Kelly picked Abigail.
I mean, I wrote down okay for this battle. I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, that's okay. I think I agree with Kelly for the fact that I feel like Julia was doing a little too much in this performance. It kind of took away from the actual song. And I think she was listening to what Jennifer Hudson told her was like, "Hey, if you feel it, do it, and if you need to spin around, spin around." And she took that into very literally, and she was just like, just doing so much, and I felt like it took away from the song. I really liked the way Abigail sang the song. She has a very, I think that yodel that Jennifer was talking about in her voice was very much good with this song. Her folkiness and her tone. I enjoyed it, but I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was the best thing, but it was okay. And she won, so I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Okay, well, number 7 for me, also Team Kelly. I thought this was going to be the strongest team, but they're not killing it in the battle rounds like I expected. But for me, it was Aaron Lavigne and Jonah Mayor. They sang the first time by Damiana David. This
Mhm.
definitely seemed like a song that is in Aaron's wheelhouse. He was one of my favorites in the battle. I think he has an incredible voice, and he
Mhm.
sounded really good, like swooping into those high notes.
Yes.
Those were incredible. I think Jonah started off a bit rough, but really got good near the end. And both
Mhm.
guys, when they're hitting those high notes, incredible. Like if they
Incredible.
had a whole performance as good as those high notes, then this would be the best battle of the night. But I just think they were a little bit inconsistent, both guys. But for me, based on based on the blind audition and this, I would have picked Aaron, but they picked Jonah.
I would have picked Aaron too. I said this was okay as well because I was like, I felt the inconsistencies throughout both of them. But I would have picked Aaron. I thought Aaron had a. I think he has the potential to be a little bit more surprising than Jonah. Like I think if Kelly would have picked Aaron, she could have been able to work with Aaron, and he would have came out in a song he chose for himself in the next round, in the knockout round. It would have been able. He would have been able to pick a song that's better for him, and then would have been able to show why he was picked. I feel like Jonah is good, but I feel like Jonah is a novelty on Kelly's team. I really do. I feel like he's good. His voice is amazing. He has a really good voice, but because he's an opera singer and he sings, he has those rounded tones that opera you have to have. And I think Kelly wants to challenge herself with Jonah. I do. I think this is a competition not just for Jonah, but for Kelly. I think she wants to
Mhm.
challenge herself to do what does she do with the voice like Jonah. And I think this was a novelty pick. I'm gonna be so honest. But do I think he has a great voice? Yes, absolutely. He is totally a great singer and can do well. But I think in this battle, Aaron beat him in the battle. But Kelly wants to challenge herself. So okay. Jonah wins. It's great.
Okay. Well, my number 6 comes from Team Adam. This is one where I did not find them consistent, like each of them consistent. I liked one significantly more than the other, but it was Aziz Guerra and Jeremy Keith. They
Mm-hmm.
sang My Cherie Amour by Stevie
Mm-hmm.
Wonder. Um, Instantly, Jeremy's voice is like silk to me.
Butter. Butter.
Sounds so,
Oh.
so, so good doing this song. But when Aziz popped in, I actually was like, oh, your tone actually works on this song quite well. But he was singing in English, but I could not understand what he was saying. And I know it's not his first language, like Spanish is his first language, but I still want to be able to have some diction where I can understand him a little bit better. But then he went into the Spanish part. I thought that was much better for him. There was a part near the end where his voice cracked a bit. And I
Mm-hmm.
was not getting those falls from Jeremy. Jeremy was consistent and very strong throughout this whole performance. So for me, hands down, no doubt, Jeremy was the winner. And
Mm-hmm.
sure enough, Adam did pick Jeremy.
Yep, I put a big agree by that one. I was like, yeah, I like Aziz. I said I liked Aziz from his first one, but I also said that I think Aziz was a novelty pick for Adam because he wanted to see more because he sang in Spanish and he wanted some, diversity on his team, which is
Mhm.
great because Aziz has a really, really good voice. And I think he sounded really, really good during the song. When he sang it in Spanish, it was so beautiful. I didn't have a problem not with his diction when he sang it in English. I didn't I,
Oh,
I,
really?
I didn't have a problem with that. I heard it very well. I thought, but he went against Jeremy. And that's the problem. He went against Jeremy, who just sounded like silk. It was just the moment he started the My Sharia more from the very jump. I was like, I melted the moment he said those first 4 words. I was like, oh God, okay. We see what this is happening. It was just so good. And Jeremy is so used to singing backup. I think hearing John at them tell him not to focus on backing up Aziz the whole time and focus
Mhm.
on he took that note and it worked perfectly. Like they didn't do any harmony. They cut that out completely. And I was like, period, Jeremy, show them what you do, not you backing up anybody else. You are not no longer a backup singer. This is your moment. This is your time to shine. And he did just that. Jeremy hands down won this one. If he would
Yeah.
have not, I would have been like, Adam, what is wrong with you? Would have lost it. But yeah, Jeremy
Exactly.
wins.
Okay, my number 5 is from Team John. It was Kendra Remedios and Natasha Blaine. They sang "Walk
Mm-hmm.
On by Dionne Warwick. Love this song choice. I thought it was a great song for them to sing. But for me, there's something so special about Natasha's voice. She has this throwback kind of voice. It's something very unique in the industry right now. Nobody sings quite like her. I thought they balanced each other fairly well. But for me, Kendra was just a little more generic vocally. So for me, I wanted to. Oh, I guess you disagree. For me, I wanted the person that sounded unique, and so that's why I picked Natasha. And Natasha was also who John picked.
I wrote highly disagree with this one. I
Okay,
highly disagreed with this choice because to me, Natasha sounded bland. She sounded, you, there was no uniqueness in
really?
her voice to me. I've heard that voice before. She is very much a jingle singer. Like every commercial you hear, like to me, I was
No.
not moved by Natasha at all. I think they did good. I was not even that impressed with the song choice. I was looking at John like, what? I didn't think for these two, I didn't think this song choice was good for these two together. But I love that song. So I'm like, okay, cool.
Mhm.
But I completely think Kendra outsang her
Okay.
completely. I love a good soulful raspy voice, and Kendra gives you that rock raspy soulful voice. And what she did with this song was very different and unique for anything for anybody sing. Like you can hear Natasha sing this song, and be like, oh, okay, yeah, I expect that. But to hear Kendra sing it the way she sang it was like, ooh, that's a whole nother way to hear Walk On By. I would never we heard Natasha sound like Dionne Warwick trying to sing that song. Like she sounds like she's covering a Dionne Warwick song. Natasha sounds like Kendra sounds like Kendra changing it up and singing a Dionne Warwick song. And it's like, ooh, it's like Dion wrote that for Kendrick, and Kendrick was like, "Yeah, I got what you did. Let me switch it up a little." I enjoy Kendra
Okay.
so much more. I was so mad when he picked Natasha. I was
So
like,
was this a big
"What?"
one you disagreed on?
No, that was one. I said it was two that I disagreed
Okay.
on.
Okay.
This was one of them, and I was not happy with this one. I was like, "No, I don't like it." I was not. No, no. I was so mad at John. I was like, you're making weird choices tonight, John Legend. And I be defending you on this channel because some people, Brooke, does not like a John Legend on this show. I be defending you, John. But this, nah, I was not a fan of this. Not a fan. I was
I
like,
was a fan. Good job,
no,
John.
thumbs down, John. Not a fan of this one. See, it says so right there. Not a fan.
Mhm.
Not of this moment.
Okay. Okay, let's talk about my number four. So this was one that kind of surprised me. This was Team Adam. It was Drew Russell versus Jared Shoemaker doing
Hmm.
leather and lace. Stevie Nicks and Don Henley. Drew was one of my favorites from the auditions. I loved. I know I was higher on her than you were,
Hmm.
but I love what she had there. This I thought she was very good too, but to me it sounded like she was imitating Stevie Nicks a little bit, like especially with
Hmm.
that fast vibrato that Stevie Nicks does. I noticed Drew was doing that, and I don't remember
Hmm.
that fast vibrato from her audition. I still thought she sounded great, but Jared, I'm not a country fan, but
Hmm.
Jared's voice is so dang good. He was the biggest surprise of anybody for me in this battle because he was not on my radar, but I just was so into the way that he was singing. Um, I think he had an advantage in that like the key was
Hmm.
higher, so it sat like pretty middle of Drew's vocal range, but it was like at the like high like impressive area of Jared's
Hmm.
voice. And so, yeah, there were a few notes. Like there was like one run specifically where I was like, "Oh, come on, Jared!"
Hmm.
So, if you had showed me this battle before, which I mean, I did see the battle, like the matchup before I heard,
Hmm.
and I was like, "Oh yeah, Drew's taking this." But for me, Jared swooped in, and he was my winner. And sure enough, he was chosen by Adam.
Yeah, he was my winner too. I absolutely love Jared in this. I think they this was such a good battle, and I did not expect this to be a good battle because, like you said, I wasn't as high up on Drew during the audition round. I wasn't that like impressed with her. I thought she was gonna be a little bit more, but she made it through. So I'm like, okay, cool. She made it through good. I have never agreed with the judges in all of my days, and I do with this one. They need to be a duo. They need to be a country
Not a
duo.
couple. Not a
Not a
couple.
couple, because
I'm
she's
like,
married.
that's
He has a
weird. Stop saying
girlfriend.
that.
Stop being
Yes.
weird. She's married. He has a girlfriend. Don't be weird. But they should be a like their musical match. They found it.
Mhm.
They
I wish
sounded.
they could do that.
I
I wish
wish
they could make people be a
that's
duo.
what Kelly said. She wanted to pair it up because I agree with her and John. I was like, they first of all, they do look like they could be the beautiful couple if they wanted to be
Mhm.
because he's good looking, she's good looking. They're very attractive people. But it's even better that they are not a couple, but they can find that chemistry. They can find that moment. They would be an amazing duo because their voice sounds so good. But I just think Jared shocked me, surprised me because I agree with you. Jared was not on my radar either. And in this moment, I was like, oh, Jared, I was not familiar with your game. You sound amazing. His voice is so, he got that little brass in that country growl in him. And oh, it was beautiful. It was beautiful to watch. I agree
Yeah.
with Jared winning, though, but I
I'm going to
definitely
call it
think,
now. He's going to be the last person from that team because we know we know the viewers of The Voice love their
yeah,
country singers, and he's actually a really good one. So I think he might be the last person standing on Team Adam.
maybe, maybe.
Okay, my third one. This is an interesting one because for me, this was one of the more lopsided battles where I really, really liked one person, and the other person, I'm like, oh, can you stop singing? I want to hear the other person. Stop,
If
knock
this
it
is who
out.
I think it is, I am going
Yeah.
to scream.
Okay. That just pops up sometimes in battles where
Hmm.
it's like I'm so into the way one specific singer is and the other person is detracting for me. And that's what happened with Team Kelly, with Houston Kelly and Tia Durant. Um,
Mm.
they were singing Either Way by Chris Stapleton.
Hmm.
I think I know which one you're talking about. I will get into it soon.
Hmm.
But for me, I was obsessed with everything Tia was doing. For me,
Dude,
okay,
me
thank you.
too.
Thank
This is
you.
the one. I was like, I
Okay,
don't agree with this one.
thank you.
Oh,
Houston, I'm going to say Houston sounds very authentic in what he's doing. I'm
yes.
not a country fan. He didn't do enough to win me over as a country fan. And Jared did in the battle we just talked about. Houston did not. Like I would never, if I heard this on the radio, I would switch immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Tia, however, I would listen to her all day. She was reminding me of CeCe Winans a bit. And she did these incredible things with her dynamics. Like she has this ability to go like this really, really, really soft voice and just like gradually like make it grow. And it was honestly so mesmerizing. It was one of my favorite like performances of anybody in this episode. Um, and Kelly, for me, 3 for 3, making the wrong choice. I did not
Mm.
agree with a single choice she made. She picked Houston, and I was furious. And then I was extra furious when Tia didn't get stolen.
Yeah. I was like, Adam, you go steal it. Adam, you go steal it. And he didn't. I was like, oh. I was so mad when I watched. I was like, if this ain't the one David was talking about, I don't
Yeah, I warned
understand.
her. I warned her. I'm like, there's one battle where the decision is crazy.
This was wild to me. I was like, oh, Tia won this one. I just knew for certain when that was happening. I was like, oh, Tia won this. Houston has a good country voice, but if this felt forced. This song with his voice, he felt forced. He was doing too much. And it was too
Yeah.
much. It felt that hurt my throat when I did that. It felt
Oh no.
forced. That's how forced it felt so forced. I was like, oh no, I don't like that. And if he sang this whole song and did a record of this whole song, I would be with you. I'm turning it. And I like country music. Here's the thing. Don't get me wrong. There is some country music out there that I just absolutely love. Like it's on my playlist right now. I do enjoy a good country song. I just didn't like his voice with this song. And I like Chris Stapleton's voice with this song. I don't like his voice with this song, but I like Tia's voice with this song. It just didn't make any sense to me. I think Kelly is so into wanting to have a country artist because she knows that's what wins the show. And so she needed to have some country artists on the show. And I feel like you are robbing people of really good voices because you're trying to win a show. That infuriates me
Yeah.
because Tia belonged on this show from that performance. Out of the two, she'd won that hands down. Her voice was smooth and velvety and soft when it needed to be, and full and loud and rich when it needed to be. I was mad, angry,
Same. I threw my
angry.
shoe,
I
but for a
was so
different reason.
angry. Oh, not for General Hudson reason, but
Yeah.
I was angry.
Yeah, this was the same performance that she threw the shoe.
Yeah,
Yep, so
and
did
I
I,
get why
Jennifer.
she threw the shoe, but I was like, oh, I'm angry. I'm angry.
I threw my shoe at Kelly.
Right, like Kelly, what is this decision you're making? Oh, yeah, all
Yeah,
three of Kelly's choices were wrong in this episode.
yeah. Okay, my number two was another one that I don't think was super even. It was Ashley Marina versus Sid Milivoy,
Yeah.
Team John, saying Love Takes Time by Mariah Carey. So there were times for me when Ashley was very impressive, like especially when she was like giving power notes. She was not like it was closer than I expected at times. I think her biggest issue is she does not know how to transition from lower notes to higher notes. She would try to like run into them and it just sounded clunky. Like I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
you picked up on that.
Mm-hmm.
She really needs to work on that. But I do think she has a lot of potential. She has a very good voice. But for me, Sid is a juggernaut. She's a beast. She is a railroad train, like going like way past anybody else. So for me, Sid was incredible. Like I could watch this over and over again. She's another one that I would have loved to just see her sing this by herself. And what I really liked about this, we had talked with her audition about how it was all up here. Like the whole thing was like one level.
Mm-hmm.
This song forced her to show us different levels of her voice.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's great. It's great all around. Sid is a contender. I think Sid is maybe the person to beat on this season.
Oh, absolutely. I
And she
definitely agree
was
with you.
chosen.
Yeah, she
John
won.
made the
She
right
won.
decision.
He picked one right. That was good for him. I will say this. I didn't like this song choice for them. I love this song. This is one of my favorite Mariah Carey songs. Please would
Old
love
school.
take time. Please would love take time. Is my favorite, one of my favorite Mariah songs. Like, oh, please. I don't think this was fair for Ashley as much. Like, I think Sid adapted to it better than Ashley, but I don't think I like the song choice for the both of them. I don't like the song choice for a battle round. You know what I mean? I'd rather it just be the knockout round where they pick that song and one of them gets to sing it, because I felt myself feeling like Ashley, please stop singing. I just want to hear Sid. Like, I don't want you to sing anymore. I want to hear Sid. And that's not what I want to hear in the battle round. I want to, have the battle. I feel like Ashley, she's 18. Baby got some time. She got some more, just like you said, learning her transitions from her soft range to the loud, higher range. Like, she has that. She just has to figure it out. But other than that, I don't know. I don't know if I don't know. It was very much one note. Sid won. Like, it was very much an unfair battle.
Mhm.
But you're right. Sid did get to show us her range, and it was beautiful. It was great. I can't
Mhm.
wait to hear what
And
she does in the
dynamics
knockout. Yeah, her dynamic. I want to hear her in the knockout round do a full song where we see her range and her dynamics. But
by herself.
absolutely,
Yes.
she can win this show. She can 100% win this show.
Mhm. So my number one was the last battle of the night, and I'm like, oh, Adam hasn't done his steal yet, so obviously he's going to steal whoever doesn't get picked here.
Yes.
So we had KJ Willis versus Mike Steele. Ironic last name there.
Mm-hmm.
They sang "Let Me Love You" by Mario. Okay, so this was so good. I love the song.
I love the song.
This brings me back to college, but. I think that Mike has such a cool tone. Like, it's this deep tone, and I'm not used to hearing like deep tones like this. Like, Ryan, I think, did he sing Giveon on in his audition, I think he sang a song by him.
Can't
Um,
remember.
but like he's one of the few artists that's out right now that has that low register and is
Mm-hmm.
doing well. So I can absolutely see Mike having a career with this voice and just
Mm-hmm.
how different it is compared to what you hear on the radio. For me, KJ, his voice is so record ready. Like he has an incredible voice. I think he could literally sing anything.
Mm-hmm.
There's just not flaws in his vocals at all. I'm obsessed with KJ. I like KJ in the battles. I'm really loving KJ, or I liked him in the auditions. I'm really loving him after this battle round. For me, I would have picked KJ, but I thought they both absolutely deserved to move on. John did pick KJ, and luckily, Mike was able to be stolen, so Adam
Yeah.
stole him.
I thought Mike should have won the battle. I think I
Okay.
love KJ's voice, and KJ is record ready. I agree with you, but I feel like Mike should have won this battle for John because John needs to pick somebody who's going to challenge him and somebody whose voice he could actually work with and mentor and because KJ could go on any record right now and
Yeah.
it's gonna be out there, and especially in the R&B space. If you're not into the R&B world and you don't know the people in the R, KJ's voice fits perfectly into that R&B world. He's in there. He's there. He
Yep.
can go in and it's gonna be make a good record with a good beat and a good hook to it. It's a hit. It's there. It's number one. He gonna be up there with I'm a dog. Like he can give us that the whole vibe. He could do that. Mike though, his richness and his tone is not something we hear all the time. And if you put him with the right people, the right producers, the right songs, and you get him in that studio with somebody like a John Legend who knows, like we saw John when he was doing his little mentoring with even with other people, how his brain works. Like, oh wait, can we
Mm.
take this and do this and let's compose something real quick. You put John Legend in the studio with somebody like Mike, and you get him to, they just start brainstorming and they just start working a song with the right producer. I think he could make beautiful music, R&B music that's not out there right now. That's not a voice that we hear right now that people will say, "Ooh, that's different. That's something." I think Mike has it because he can do those runs. He can do all the things that KJ was doing. He was doing all that. But when that man did that low run from the bottom
Mm.
up and had everybody go, "Oh," that moment would have sucked me right to him. Like he won for me in that moment. But I also like when KJ took his run to the highest and brought it back down. It was like, oh, these men, both of them deserve to be here. I'm so glad both of them are still here. But for me, I probably would have picked Mike because I felt I would have wanted to work with that. But John did what he did, and I was so happy that now Adam has to do right by Mike. If he don't do right by Mike, it's gonna piss me off. It's gonna piss me off because this man deserves to go far in this competition, and I don't want him
Mhm.
to get sucked away by bad song choices from Adam.
I agree. Yeah, we're already down to our top 15, and we get to see CeeLo next week as a
So
super
happy I
mentor.
mentioned CeeLo. I literally said CeeLo
Yes,
last week. I wanted CeeLo.
right.
So we get CeeLo and we get who else coming back? Michael Bublé is coming back.
Oh yeah. That's
We
right.
get to see
And then they're doing
Bublé.
like you see they're doing some weird thing with like bringing back a lot of winners for their own like competition. Like
Yeah, some.
each of them are bringing back two winners. Well, John only has one winner, so he's bringing back one winner and one like runner up.
Huh.
So should be interesting.
Interesting. We'll
Yeah.
see what that's about. Okay, well, let's move on to the Masked Singer.
Yes, a Mass Singer. So we are at the semifinals. So we had our top five perform all together this week. So no more separating into different groups. So this was a very interesting week for me because I had three people that I was very invested in, and I'm just going to spoil it right now. The three people that I'm like, oh, okay, I know who you are. I like you. I'm rooting for you. They were my three least favorite performances, and the other two people were my two favorite performances.
Okay.
So we'll start with the first performance was Galaxy Girl doing Misery Business by Paramore. She talked about following in the footsteps of someone that she's close to. Once again, I'm like, this has to be Ashley Simpson.
It's
There's
Ashley
no way it's
Simpson.
not.
Yeah.
Mhm. It still sounded like her to me. I thought it was a fun performance, but I just think vocally it didn't. You're starting to see the limits because Ashley Simpson, like, let's be honest, she was never the best vocalist. But
No.
this week I was like, okay, yeah, I think you're kind of outmatched by most people in the competition.
Mm-hmm.
She said she has a personal connection with Nick, and so they deduce, oh, well, Nick is close to Evan Ross, so it could be Ashley Simpson. So they're on the right track. We're on the right track. It's Ashley Simpson. This was my least favorite performance of the night, though, so I had her ranked at number 5. Number 2, or sorry, number 2 of the night was Pangolin. She was singing "It Must Have Been Love" by Roxette.
Mm-hmm.
There was a clue about she was on the Emmys, and that her grandmother had passed away pretty recently. But what was really cool about this performance is she actually made it a performance. It
Mm-hmm.
started with this kind of Telemundo intro with her walking in on somebody cheating with a different pangolin, and it just was very telenovela. It was really, really cool. Her vocals were so good. Pangolin has not been somebody I've been crazy about, but she really, really, really stepped it up this week. I thought her voice was incredible. Once again, I don't have a lot to go off of. So I was sticking with Brooke's guess that it's Rachel Platten. I did hear her say something about fighting. So, and I do know Fight Song by Rachel Platten. So, yeah, I could see her on Broadway. This was like a very Broadway theatrical performance. But it was really good. This was my second favorite performance of the night. Then we had Crane singing Break Free by Ariana Grande. Said something about being multi-platinum in their clue. And she had an issue with both of her parents being very sick recently. But yeah, when I hear her sing, I cannot unhear Normani. To me, this definitely has to be Normani.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a really good performance, but I feel like the song didn't show off what she could do as much because like the chorus is very like it's like the same note over and over
Mm-hmm.
again. So I wanted a little bit more of her range. I just wanted some of the vocals that we've gotten from her in the past. So
Mm-hmm.
this was not my favorite week for her. She did say she has a connection with Rita and that they had a healthy competition. So I think the judges assumed she must have been up against her for some sort of music award.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, this was my 4th favorite of the night, which I did not expect because I love her voice, but this
Mm-hmm.
wasn't her best week. Then next we had Pug Casso singing Bad Dreams by Teddy Swims. There weren't a lot of clues given. There was something about an audition tape. But he was saying that he thinks of himself as a musician and not a celebrity. But he's got a great voice. This was a good performance. I really liked some of the visual aspects to it because it's Bad Dreams. So he had all these like people in pug costumes that were like in
Mm-hmm.
beds and they kept
Mm-hmm.
like shaking like they were having
Mm-hmm.
bad dreams. It was really cute. I don't think this is one of his stronger performances that we've had throughout the competition. He did say he shared a stage with Jenny at some point. I'm still thinking it's Pat Monahan from Train.
Mm-hmm.
This was my 3rd favorite of the night. And then finally, our last performance was Cat Witch, who we know is Kylie Cantrell because they've shown us since the first episode that that's who it is. She was singing Run to You by Whitney Houston. Her intro package, she let us know that she was trying to throw off the panel because in her intro package, she was talking about dedicating this to her mom and just basically like all of the things that she loves about her mom. But the secret is she's talking about Rita as her TV mom in the Disney Channel movies, The Descendants.
Mm-hmm.
So she sang the song, and it was so good. It was like a stripped back, almost like a lullaby. I sent it to Lana
Mm-hmm.
because I thought it was so good. But her voice was so good in this. She's really upping her game at the right time. I do think it would be anticlimactic to have the winner of the show be somebody that they let us in on the secret the whole time. That would be weird. But for me, she was number one for the night as far as the performance went. And finally, I think Rita is picking up that this is Kylie Cantrell. She guessed her, and she's like, I'm going to be so upset if it took me this long to realize that this is Kylie. But we got our results, and the eliminated person was Pangolin. And sure enough, it was Rachel Platten. So Jenny got it right. I didn't even know what Rachel Platten looked like, but she's adorable. She was very sweet. Like when she was talking, she's like, "Yeah, I didn't know what a pangolin was, so I watched this documentary about it. I watched the same documentary last year. Pangolins are adorable, but good for Brooke for picking up on that before anybody else, and good for Rachel for doing her thing. She was good."
Good on her. Good on that. That's wonderful. I love that for everybody in the Masked Singer. Yeah. So we can move on. I think we had enough singing show
After an hour.
competition after an hour, because that's what we do here. We take an hour to talk about the music stuff
Yep.
because we don't cover
Get
it on the
used to it.
channel. Get used to it, everybody. That's what we're doing. But we'll move on to some strategy. It's time. David, we're going to talk about Extracted, of course.
You didn't
And
watch it?
I watched it. I I I I watched it last week because David
And you
wasn't
didn't
here.
stick with it?
I don't care for this show. I'm gonna be so honest with everyone. I didn't. Y'all, if you heard me last week, I didn't care for it. I'm not. I I can appreciate the gameplay by some of these people, but these people are not likable, so I can't. But yeah, I did watch a little bit of it this week just to see what happened.
Okay.
But yeah, go
Okay,
right
well, I'll
ahead.
get into it. So, the big thing that we left off on last week was Luke and David had made this clue that they wanted to plant in the area and trick somebody into getting their family member to give up all of their fire making supplies. So, the whole week, I've actually been kind of interested on how that's going to play out. Well, we've kind of got our answer. So,
Mm-hmm.
we realize at the beginning of the episode that they specifically want Roman's family to find this clue because they think Roman is one of the bigger threats in the competition right now. So I think it's smart, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Target him if you want to take out a big competitor. So they were able to make the situation work out right. They put it on a table, and sure enough, Roman's family finds the fake advantage. Then we have the family of Polly. They take that clue later on, and they're trying to decode it because they're curious. So they're going through it, but eventually Luke and David go up, and they're like, "Stop! Don't do that. That's fake. That's not real." So they stop them from doing that. But they've been caught by RJ's family, and RJ's family is not happy about this because I don't know if you remember, Alana, but there were a few weeks ago where Polly's family was so upset when the blanket got taken away from
Mm-hmm.
Polly,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, she's going to literally die out there. So it's funny that they were so aghast to people playing the game then, and now here they are taking somebody else's clue, even though it's fake, and trying to decode it
Mm-hmm.
for themselves. Um, so RJ's family, I think specifically, was rubbed the wrong way, like seeing the inconsistency there. Um, but so we see that Dougie is like cooking himself some beans, and then he accidentally dumps some of it out, which will come into play soon.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone tells, it was RJ's family ends up telling Roman's family that Polly's family was trying to sabotage their advantage. So there was a big confrontation about that. Um, but we saw Dougie taking a nap in the middle of the day, and a bear came by. Actually, a couple of bears come by, and I think it's
Mm-hmm.
because of those beans. I think the
Mm-hmm.
bear smelled the beans. So his family is freaking out because he's asleep. They're like, "Oh my gosh, wake up, Doug! Wake up, Doug!" And I'm like, is the show gonna just let him? Like, surely, I don't know like what kind of
Right.
safety mechanisms they have in place to make sure somebody doesn't get eaten by an actual bear. But sure enough, he ends up waking up and he has his bear horn. So he starts blasting that. So the bears run off, but he's clearly visibly shaken. Like it's starting to get real. I think anybody would be pretty scared if a bear was that close when you were not awake to see it. But yeah, we see more of the drama with Polly's family and who was it? Roman's family. Roman's family going off. And then there was a great line that one of RJ's family members said about Polly's family members, because they know that they're working close with the boys, whom you definitely don't like. I don't really care for them either. But she said, when you lay down with dogs, you get fleas. And I was like, okay, you're spitting fire there. Yeah. So RJ's family finds an intercept card. So they actually found a real advantage. So this allows them, for any supply drop, they can actually intercept that from a different family member and take it for RJ. So very valuable, very valuable. So they have a challenge where they have boxes that they are trying to switch out with people to get various communication methods to send a message to family members. Convenient timing that there is a challenge that allows people to communicate with their family members, send a message to them. Production, I see what you're doing, because it's very convenient right after Roman's family finds this fake advantage, and now they have a way to communicate.
To tell them that.
Yes, which it's funny because Luke and David, they picked a box that had like a 30-second message. You could do a 30-second message and send it to your family member, which is one of the best ones. But they switched and they gave it to Roman's family.
Of course they did.
That should have been a red flag. They ended up getting a better. Yeah, they ended up getting a 1-minute phone call instead of the 30-second video message. But Roman's family now has a way to communicate the news to Roman's family about this advantage they have. I see what you did, production. Let's see what happens. So RJ's family, they are considering using their advantage because they got a box that will not allow them to have communication with RJ. So basically he's going to have to do a trek, find this box, and then he's going to open it and see, oh, there's no message from him. So RJ's family was considering, we could intercept with somebody else, like the boys. We could take their phone call and use it for themselves. But they were worried because they're like, we still have more weeks to go, and we don't want anybody to retaliate against us if we use this against them now. So I understand that. I think they probably made the right decision, although by the end of the episode, I'm not so sure. But yeah, they decided not to use that advantage. So all the family members have to go on their hikes to find their boxes and get their potential messages or lack thereof. Doug, you can tell that he's starting to lose hope. He's like, that whole bear experience has really messed with his head. He hasn't been able to sleep now since that happened. So I think he's on his last legs. But Roman, he ends up getting to his box and he gets that message. Basically, very quickly, they had to tell him in 30 seconds to take all of his supplies, take your matches, take your various things, put them in the box. You have to relinquish that and you will get a big advantage. You'll get a big reward if you do that. So he's got the message. I know. I know. It's really sad. But Doug, actually, he does have a message. He has a letter of hope from his family, but he gives up. The trek was too hard for him. He was way off base from where it was actually supposed to be. So he just gave up and went home. And he really could have used that message because you can tell he feels like he wants to quit. RJ is also very upset because he made all of that trek up to the boxes. He opened it and saw it was an empty box. And so he is demoralized. So we leave off the episode with RJ and Doug both having basically no hope left. So I'm worried that they're going to ask their family members to extract them. But the very last thing we see is RJ or Roman taking his supplies, putting it in the box, setting it by the river. And so I don't know what's going to come of that. What's interesting, though, is what does production do? Because this isn't a real advantage. So he put the stuff in the box by the river. If I'm production, why would I take that away? Like that's not part of what we planned, right?
Right. So the box will be there.
That's what I'm hoping for his sake. I'm hoping that he's just going to be confused, like, why has nobody come and taken this box away? If they do take it away, that's a little
Foul. That's a little foul.
It is. Like they would obviously be doing it for the TV element, but there's no reason for them to take the box away.
All right.
If it's not a real advantage, you know?
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Yeah. I'm on pins and needles waiting to see what's going to happen in the next. I mean, these guys that created this fake advantage, they are D-bagged. They are not likable, but they are playing really well.
They are.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Oh, I hate it, but they are.
I know. I think they're gonna win. It's hard, especially with how a lot of people are losing hope in the game. It's crazy. There's only one woman left too, but yeah, I think they're the ones to beat.
Yeah.
Especially because we have Polly, who's the oldest person. She's had her struggles. You have the two guys that want to quit, basically, and then you have Roman, who is potentially about to lose his fire supply. So if those four are all struggling, then yeah, I think we have a pretty strong front runner.
Sure, I guess. Don't have to like them, but they are playing the game. So. Let's move on to Australian Survivor. Episodes 13 through 15. What a week. What a week. What a week.
Yeah. You know what's kind of fun about this week of TV episodes? I listen to the podcast that you all do for the various things. And I think we're going to have a lot of disagreements on some of the shows we're talking about now. Starting with Australian Survivor.
Okay.
Because I've heard people being very critical of my boy Mark for being too cocky and being mean, and especially Ree. I know Ree had issues with Mark, but I think there's a difference between the way Mark is doing it and the way that we've seen a lot of other people do it. Like it feels like it's in good fun with him. So I've really enjoyed Mark. I know other people have not. He's been my favorite this season. So yeah, there were so many times in these episodes that he was cracking me up with things that were actually pissing off other panelists on this program here, or this YouTube channel. But first, let's talk about Brooke because Brooke, this is her third season, and she is still showing that she is a beast. I love that she won 2 of the 3 immunity challenges in these episodes. And I want it to keep happening. I love Brooke. I think she's very likable. It's crazy that this is her 3rd season in a row where she won the first individual immunity challenge.
That's awesome.
That's impressive. Especially now because she's a mother. And you'd be like, oh, well, now she's a mom. Does she still have it? She does.
Yep,
that
she does.
Doesn't stop anyone.
Don't let that stop you. Don't let it.
But one of my favorite things, so I was actually watching some of these episodes on a flight back from Grenada, and I was watching the second episode from this week, and it was at Tribal Council where everybody was about to blindside Mark, but he had that idol that he was about to play, and he had switched things up at the last second to be against Richard. But this exchange between Mark and Richard, I freaking loved it because you could tell Mark was annoyed because Richard's been a terrible ally. Yeah, he has. He's been a terrible ally consistently. And so there's a moment where Richard is like, I'll explain when we get back to camp. This is after Mark's votes have been canceled out because he just played the idol. And Mark's like, oh, will you? He's like, yeah, I will. And then you see that first Richard name, and I screamed on my plane. Well, not super loud, but I made a noise, and I did this, and I was like, oh, I hope nobody noticed that. Because then Richard Richard realized, oh, I
I'm
guess I
not
won't be
going
having
to.
that conversation. But no, I love Mark. I think Mark is cocky, but in the same way, like people like Sari and Parvati, they're cocky in a fun way for me. Meanwhile, I think there are other people who got power in these episodes that have not been so fun. Ben and Jackson specifically, their power trip, I don't like it. It feels like they're a little bit too serious, like calling Mark a stain on the game and all of that. Like it feels a little bit more mean spirited from them than it does for me when Mark's doing it. So I don't think that's inconsistency. I think that is knowing how to deliver it. And I think that comes with experience as well, because everybody was like this in Mark's first season. Like you had Ferris, you had Kirby, you had Caroline, you had all of these big personalities that were kind of flaunting it in a playful way when they had power. And I think Mark was keeping that same energy. And a lot of people from this cast are just a little bit too serious with that. You know, like they I don't know. Like we've talked about it with Faith, even how she felt kind of mean spirited with her power trips too. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think about that?
I mean, I didn't like it from Faith. I didn't like it from Aisha. I didn't like it even when Lottie did it at the beginning. And I don't
Mhm.
like it with Mark. And I didn't like it with Ben and Jackson. Like, I consistently don't like when people act like they forget how Survivor is played. They act like they forget you have power today. It can be gone today. It can be gone in
Mhm.
the next
But
night.
do you
Like,
like it from Sandra?
I don't like, but see, here's the thing. I don't think it was like that. Like with Sandra, it wasn't in everybody's face. It was like, look, Sandra's a no nonsense person all the way around. Like, you beat Sandra outside of this game and she's still gonna be the same thing. Like, there's no
Mhm.
difference with Sandra. This is not who these people are outside of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you met this person, if you met Ben outside of this game, you think Ben gonna be like, hi, you're a stand of my existence. Bah! Like, no, you're playing up a character that you think is entertaining and it's not. And I don't think Mark is this way either. I don't think Mark goes around being so arrogant to the point of like,
No.
I don't think that.
No, he's
But
having fun with it for sure.
and I think he's having, and that's the thing. If it's fun, sure. I think if it's like that for him, it's like that for all of them. If I didn't like it with Mark or with Ben and Jackson, I ain't gonna like with none of them. So
Mm.
I don't want to
I
see it
mean, I
because I don't
believe
think it's.
there's nuances, you know.
I do think it's nuanced to. I feel like there's a line, and I don't think Mark is the exception to this rule in this season. I don't think his was fun either. His like Mark has called people dumb, like you are a useless ally. I don't like that's not nice. That's
And
mean
where are the
spirited.
lies?
I mean, but it doesn't have just because it's true don't mean it's right. Just because it's true don't mean it's not mean. The truth is mean. Sometimes truth can be mean to people sometimes. It's mean spirited. It's just a mean. It's just the way he went about it. His attitude about it was really. I don't know. For me, it was off putting for me from anybody. I expected more from Mark because he's played this game before because he
Yeah.
knows how
He
Survivor
played with
goes.
Ferris.
And he knows how Survivor is. He knows that he can have power the next day, and he found out that you don't have power the next day. He had that power and he got rid of Rich. I thought that was hilarious. I thought the way he went about that was fun and it was
Mhm.
funny. And Rich got a rude awakening. But he also found out the very next night that the karma that you slapped at somebody slaps you right back in the head. So it's like, I don't and do I think Ben is in Jackson are enjoyable right now? Absolutely not. No, no. I found them to be. But I do agree that Mark's is a little less more palatable than Ben and Jackson's in Faith's. Like the newbies, I
Right.
feel that Mark's is he has the nuances a little more palatable than theirs. Like theirs, I'm like, oh God, no, God, no.
Fair. You know who somebody who has been enjoyable though?
Who's that?
Caleb. So I said it. I said it. I think the very first week we did Reality Roundup. I'm like, I don't know. I'm getting winter vibes from Caleb, and I'll be honest, those went away. Like I was like, oh, I kind of regret saying that on the podcast. but they're
Mhm.
back.
They're back.
They're back and they're stronger than ever. I'm calling it. Caleb's winning this season. I really am feeling it. I
I
think
don't
he's
know
going
if
to do
you
it.
go ahead.
And I think this was a pivotal moment for him because he had this opportunity to take power in the game.
Yep.
We saw in the third episode this week, he was actually able to switch things up. It was going to be
Yep.
going against Simon, but he pitted Mark and Ben against each other in a brilliant way.
Oh yes.
And so he made it so that he was going to be the swing vote because of the way the votes were splitting. And he could have flipped over to either alliance and had the win, at least for that episode. Now, if he had sided with the returnees and he had stuck with them in the next episode, then we would have a 5-5 split, which would be a little complicated. But he sure like fed out of his hand to Mark and had him convinced that Caleb was going to vote with him. And sure enough, he did not, and he blindsided Mark. And it was very bittersweet for me because I've loved Mark. I think he's been so fun to watch this season. I know not everybody agrees, but I really wanted Mark to stay. But I was so proud of Caleb for making the right move because if he had stuck with the returnees and gone to the end with them, I don't think he has a shot. I think it was much smarter to take away those numbers, and maybe he can go back to some of them later on and use them for a time.
Mm-hmm.
But he really shouldn't be going to the end with like the likes of Mark and Brooke, especially. Simon probably not either. But yeah, I think Caleb is playing really well, and he's giving entertainment television. So Caleb right now is my favorite.
I don't know if you saw the recap that we did
The
about that.
stand card.
He got the stand card. I was like, if you vote the right way, Caleb, you will get this stand card. And he totally did what he needed to do. That was serve his game. And me and Reese said it. If Caleb wins this game, that episode is going to be the one we look back and say that won the game for Caleb because he totally took the power away from Mark. And even I will say the returnees at this point, they now know that they have to win to stay.
Yep.
They have to win to stay because now they are completely outnumbered. And Keely, you're not a returnee, but you just got yourself in it, and now you are going to go down with the ship if it goes down. And if this individual immunity keeps going the way it's going, Simon and Brooke are gonna go back and forth with this immunity,
Right.
and you stuck. But she has an idol, so good on Keely
True.
for having an idol because she is definitely going to need it. Mark telling Brooke on the way out was smart, so Brooke knows where to go and get Keely on her side. I still say the returnees are playing circles around these newbies. It's fun to see, but I think Caleb has just shown all of them like I'm also here to play. So
Mhm.
I love it. I absolutely loved it. I think Caleb has done what needed to be done. Now what he does with this power is going to be interesting to watch next week.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what he does with what happens next.
Yeah, and I do think this season has been getting better each week.
Mm-hmm.
I do get nervous though because if it just becomes like, oh, all the returnees are going to get picked off, that's going to be a little bit boring.
It's not gonna be that
Especially
good.
I really hope not, especially because I think most of the newbies outside of probably Caleb and Keely aren't giving me the edit at least of what could be a satisfying winner. Like right now, if I saw Ben, if I saw Jackson, even Blanche and Laws, who are probably likable people, but the edit
Mm-hmm.
has not been there for them. So if these people win, it's going to be kind of a letdown.
I mean, I
But
think
I
they
mean,
have time.
nine
Right.
episodes. So yeah.
I would say they have time to give you an edit of like if let's say Laz wins, they have
Mhm.
time to get you invested in Laz from
Start
this
sooner
point.
next time.
They should start sooner though, but don't wait till merge to do that. Like start
Yeah.
sooner giving us that. But I think Laz is playing a game that could take her to the end. Now I don't know if it's going to have get her the win, but I think it can get her very far to the end of this
Mhm.
game because she is not fight anybody. Nobody's leaving upset with Laz. Nobody is like Laz, flipped on me or she did this, and she's just playing a very subtle, under the radar type of game, very social game. So I don't know, but yeah, I definitely understand. I would be a little like, oh, okay, if a Laz or a Cam or a Blanche even wins, it's like,
Sally.
or Sally, it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess it's not like, yes, I knew it, I expected that, period, period. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll see what
We'll see.
happens. We'll see what happens. Let's move on to Survivor 50, because what a week! Double eliminations this week. Um, we saw some temper tantrums being thrown, and some alliances made that I didn't know I needed till I saw it, and I was like, oh, I
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
this.
For me, that's the headline of this week is
Oh.
the alliances, specifically Rizzo and the girls, specifically Rizzo and Sari.
That's what I say,
Um,
specifically Surreal Rizzo.
yes,
That's
yes,
the
yes, yes.
one. Uh,
But it's funny because so I just went on this trip. I've mentioned it a couple times, but one of the people that went on the trip with us is a flight attendant from Miami, and she knows Dee. She's friends with Dee, and we had
mhm,
talked. I'm like, Dee, like I respect her more than I like her. I
mhm.
texted her right after this episode, and I'm like, okay, I like Dee. I'm Team
I
Dee
like her
now.
now. I like her now.
Yes, because I did not expect Dee to be kind of the pivotal person in getting this alliance together. She really seemed to be the person that she sent Rizzo to Cerise. She pulled
Mhm.
in Camilla. So yeah, I really love this group. I love that Twitter's like, yes, we're rooting for these women, and it's like Rizzo and three other women. So he's just a girl to Twitter right now.
I mean, he
But yeah,
look when you look, if you are a man and you make it into the just a girl space, you have
yeah.
arrived,
I am
honey.
not a guy's guy.
I'm not a guy's guy. When we feel that means we feel safe with you, and you definitely want women to feel safe with you. So when a girl say you one of my girls, take it as a compliment. But anyway, go ahead.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, on the other side, like in the same tribe, though, Charlie
Mm.
has been unbearable for me.
Oh
Like
my
anytime he talks
god.
this season, and I'm sure he's doing things that are more lighthearted and fun, but just the intensity with which he talks about Rizzo, whose season he hasn't even seen, like it feels like pure hatred in his soul. So I was like, I need him to go. And I also declared him my least favorite new era player after this episode. What I will say though, like spoiler, he does get voted out, thank God.
Yes. Bye.
But I've liked him a little bit more in his exit press,
Mm.
especially because like one question I heard somebody ask him is like, now that you actually know how it feels to be voted out, can you appreciate Maria after being voted out, not voting for you to win? And he's like, yeah, I can understand her perspective a little bit more. And I'm like, that's growth. That's the growth I want to
Growth.
see because he's so freaking bitter with Maria, who's a lovely person.
Lovely
And
person.
he ended her game. He ended her game.
Right.
She didn't
He
vote for
ended
you.
it.
She
Like
voted for
what?
Ben.
Why would she vote for you when you did that to her? Like, I don't
Right.
understand why you're so mad. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So I will give him that he's won me over ever so slightly with how he's handled the exit press. But yeah. Another thing that kind of annoyed me this episode was Coach. Okay, I love Coach giving the nicknames. That's great. But him talking to Joe and being like, "Hey Joe, let me validate bad behavior from you. Let me affirm it so you continue to do it. And here's how I'm going to affirm it. You are the most honorable and honest player to ever play Survivor." Now he's never going to stop.
Now
He
he's
is never going to
never
stop.
going to stop.
Yeah. And
I'm
also, it's
sorry.
not true. Let me point out there was a guy named Gabe in season 4 of Survivor Marquesas, and Gabe was honest to a fault. He voted with his tribe after a swap, even though he knew full well that they were about to vote him off. His people from his own tribe, but he's like, I have to because I gave them my word. You people that I just swapped with are giving me a lifeline and telling me that if I vote with you, I can stay, but I would have to vote against these people that I just gave my word to, even though I know for a fact they're about to vote for me. So that is the most honest player. ever that ever played the game. But yeah, for me, this just was so repulsive, and I need this storyline to end, because if this becomes the storyline of the season of Coach wrangling all of his honorable men, and you have if we have like a Coach, Colby, Joe, Jonathan, Final Four, can you imagine like the nosedive this season would take?
Oh my God. I would not be able to. I don't know if I would be able to finish it if that comes down to that. I would just. I'm sorry. I couldn't do it. Like this episode to me was, oh gosh. It had its very highs, like we said, with Rizzo and Sari. That was my highest moment, watching them talk and watching them actually give real information. So it really solidifies their alliance. It's like, this is for real. Because, like, some people, they say they're in an alliance. It's really not. You can tell when it's not really. This is a true alliance. And I'm like, yes, work, period. That's how it's done. Sarit's offering up her extra vote, saying, I have an extra vote. And Rizzo was like, period, I have this Billie Eilish item. Not Billie Ocean. Oh my God, how old am I? I'm so old.
You brought me back. Brought me back to the 80s.
So old, Billie Ocean. Billie Eilish, boomerang idol. And so he's like telling her, like, I have it. He didn't even tell D he has it. He just told D what it was. But he didn't tell her he had it. But he told Sari that he has it. So I was like, this is a real true alliance. And then the alliance I did not know I needed until I saw it happen. And I was like, it's taking me to a place of happiness and love, and just, I love this. I love this for Sari, my favorite Survivor player of all times, period, with someone who I actually played a game with in Rizzo and watched him play and was like enjoying seeing somebody who I've seen get on this level and play.
Yep.
I love it for them. Love it for the both of them. But
he said to her, I have the Billie Ocean idol. I need you to get out of my dreams and get into my alliance.
Shut up. I hate you so much. I can't make a mistake around you. I already just chastised myself. I'm old, okay? I'm old. We got it. Jeez. Anyway.
Rizzo's never heard of Billie Ocean.
Billie Ocean probably never watched Survivor in his life. I don't even know what Survivor is. Oh my God. Oh my God, Billie Ocean. Anyway, Billy, stop having the same name as Billie Ocean. Anyway, but also, I love a good callback. And so when I see Angelina get voted out this island, and she says, by the way, here, I'm going to give you my jacket because it's going to be cold out there. I was like, that's such a mother. You are mother. Yeah. You're mothered in that moment. I love a good callback, and I love that she did that. And it was so, I wish somebody would have asked her for it, though. I wish.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
That would have been so much better. Like, oh, Angelina, can I have your jacket? And then she'd be like, yes, it's cold outside. It's going to get cold. And then he gave it to her.
I kind of like it being on her own terms, too. Like that, it's not me reacting. It's me volunteering to give it up. Like, also, I saw a video of like a watch party with like several, like 50 plus people watching when that happened, and they were all going crazy. Like, that would have been a moment to watch.
Yeah, it was a moment. I watched, I was like, yes, Angelina. I loved it. Because like Angelina was never one of my favorite survivors that I was like, I just have to watch her all the time. But I do love that moment that she had with Natalie, and then I love that she was able to call back and do it again with it, like you said, on her own terms. I just thought it was so fun. I love that. I thought it was great.
Yeah, the only other thing I will say is I will give Jeff Probst some credit, because we sure hated that rapping, but his impersonations that he did at Tribal Council, those were actually pretty dang good.
Really dang good. Like, his Christian Ricky was great.
Right in front of Christian.
In front of Christian. I thought it was great. Oh, and shout out to Tiffany, because she was the MVP of that challenge. Just want to put that out there, because I ain't never seen nobody untie a rope like that in my life that fast. I was like, you better go.
The physics behind that.
Don't know how she did it, but she was fast and it was there and done. And she was the reason they won that challenge. So shout out to you, Tiffany. Period.
I saw a meme that said, Tiffany, your confessional count are in this bag.
Right. Because they not giving my girl nothing.
No,
Hello.
we'll
Y'all
talk about
doing
that
my
soon.
we'll talk. They giving her doing her dirt. Doing her dirty, but all right, let's move off of Survivor 50 and let's go on to Fear Factor, House of Fear. We are at the finale of Fear Factor. They have wrapped it up. We do have a winner, and it was the most predictable finale I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm just gonna be so for real with y'all. We knew from weeks back who was going to win this show. Um, and you know what? Good on Ethan for winning the show.
Mhm.
He did what he needed to do. I still am not buying that the pairing of Rob and Ethan and Jaylene and Chelsea was random, but okay. Um, but sure, sure. Two challenges. Ethan, Chelsea winning both of the first ones to send Jaylene and Rob home. Poetic justice.
It
Rob could
was.
have Rob could have even ended this and not have even been sitting in the end with Ethan if he wanted to, but he chose not to because he wanted to stick it to Lance. He wanted to stick it to Lance because Lance went after his girl and you lost because you sat next to the person who beats you in everything. Like, I don't understand. But whatever,
Mhm.
whatever. I will say shout out to Chelsea. I think she did a really good job. Me and Jack talked about it on the recap. Hate that the final challenge, really two parts of it came down to luck and chance because you just had to find the key first. And then
Right.
once you find the key, then you had to put the right key in the lock. And it was like Chelsea was doing so well. She got out that truck and whipped to the back way before Ethan. Ethan was struggling on that truck and she was doing her best. But I don't know. I felt like it needed me and Jack said it needed a puzzle element. Like them doing something slide puzzle in the truck or something. Some kind of puzzle element to do something else besides shaking boxes looking for a key. It just felt,
Mhm.
hmm, but
Like a
whatever.
puzzle in a bucket of spiders, or something like that.
Something in there. What it was because to add to the more of the fear element. Because sure, climbing on the side of a truck is scary, but they had a harness on so they wouldn't go fall to their death. Um, then it's like, oh, okay. Um, then even when they untethered it was a whole net between them, so they just ran across the net. So it wasn't like anything that was going to make me fear like I will fall to my death and
Right.
die or anything.
Well, Chelsea said that though. She's like, "We could die doing this." I'm like, "Girl, you
No, you
cannot
can't,
die."
girl. You cannot
They would
die.
not.
You cannot die. But it was a
Yeah,
pretty good finale.
yeah, it was good, but it's the show I had the least amount to talk about. Like a lot of what you've said is what I was thinking too. I wrote down Ethan beat Rob. Ethan beating Rob was glorious.
Yes.
Karma. I loved seeing that happen, especially because it's something that Rob should have been good at, since he's a diver.
Yeah. Love that
But
for him.
yeah, and sorry, you're guilty by association, Jaylene. I
Jaylene.
was very
Oops.
happy the couple was out,
Me
but
too.
I'm gonna say this: Chelsea being in the top two, and her being so invisible until a couple of episodes
Hmm.
ago. There's no excuse for that. Like
The editing was
if
crazy.
yeah, if you know she's gonna be one of the top two, let us feel invested in her. So that when we see the top two, there's some sort of mystery behind who's going to win.
Hmm.
Because seeing the top two, I already went into this episode thinking Ethan was going to win. But when I saw this top two, I'm like, yeah, like
Duh.
it's a done deal. There's no way Chelsea's getting the win with this edit she's gotten, which
Hmm.
is not fun. It's not fun for her. It's not fun for viewers. So just do
Hmm.
something better next time.
Absolutely. I will give them the grace that I give all first seasons of shows. This is your
Mm,
first season. Next season, you're casting for season two. Do better. Just do
yeah.
better and make it a little bit more unpredictable. So we're not going into the finale like, oh, we know who winning. Weeks before we knew who was winning this whole
Yeah.
thing. It was like, yeah. So let us make it a little bit more interesting for us as viewers and unpredictable. And then focus on your final two. Like give us something. Like we got backstory about Ethan. We knew about his story. We got some really good story late about Chelsea. I'm like, oh, she got two daughters and they live in Tennessee. She's divorced. I mean, the only thing we knew about her, she was a divorced mom. She's recently divorced. She had two daughters. That's all we knew about her. And I'm like, if she don't make it to the top two, we should be able to be invested in her. We should
Right.
see things about her, see more of her victories or whatever. But eh, it was all right. A fair ending. I will say I didn't think I would enjoy this show as much as I did. So kudos to Fear Factor for stepping up their game a little bit, making it a little bit more interesting. I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed the ride. I wasn't like it didn't feel like a chore to watch this show this season. So
Yeah, I'm not on the same page as you there because I think it was the fact that we saw Deal or No Deal Island take
hmm
their format and change it into a competitive thing. So I had pretty high hopes for this. I'm like, if it worked for Deal or No Deal Island, Fear Factor can do it too. And I felt a little more underwhelmed with it because there weren't a lot of people I was invested in. Some of the challenges I didn't make me feel good because it seemed like they were hurting animals, which I don't like. But like you, I want to see a second season, and I'm hoping there's improvements that will make me more invested.
I mean, if you don't want to see hurting animals, then you probably still ain't gonna like it next season because that's what
Probably
Fear
not.
Factor does. They
Get
just
PETA
do
out
that.
there.
They're not gonna do that. They're not stopping. But let's move on to House of Villains because my God, what was this? This was not what was this. I'm going to say this. This was the first. I'm shocked this week. This week actually felt like a really well thought out, planned, strategic game. And
Mhm.
it felt very strategic in this that I thought the challenge itself was a very like you had to think about it. You had to think about what you were going to do with these nuts and try to outplay and some of these these people with their nuts and we're going to put enough nuts in there. The whole envelope and making somebody up on the hit list and you have to now get somebody else to read it to get off the hit list and how to go. I thought this was one of the most strategic episodes that they've had this entire season, which is weird to say for House of Villains because House of Villains is never that show where I'm looking for the most strategic gameplay or things like that. It's just like, oh, this is fun, silly, goofy, kind of crazy kind of show. This one was like, oh, okay. And I love the outcome. I will say, I like it when the power shifts. I love good power shifts in any show it is. I don't care what show it is, even if it's my favorites, getting the power shifted off of them and onto, and they have to be in trouble. I still like it because it's like, how you gonna get yourself out of this one? How are you going to get, because that's what you came on the show for. If you can't get yourself out of this show on this show, and you're supposed to be so strategic and you can't get yourself out of it, you deserve to go home. You deserve to go. And to watch Tyson have to squirm in his drawers this week is hilarious. Him and Tom are struggling because Kate said, aha, you thought. And I'm like,
But she's wrong.
but
She's wrong is the thing.
okay, but did they do anything to try to make it right? No, because why would you kick the thing under the thing without knowing who touched it last when you knew she touched it last? You did not know if Drita or Christine or any or Paul touched it. You told Paul not to touch it, so he not go touch it, or they not go touch it, and you don't know if Drita or Christine opened it, but you
She's
just
scared for New
hit
York.
New York in a bed. She sleeps. She wasn't go touch it.
Right.
she wasn't go
But he
see
knows
it.
better than to go warn her right now, and he didn't want her to accidentally find it.
It's just they didn't do it themselves any favor. You know Kate opened it. You know she opened it for sure. And then you kick it under there, hide it, not knowing if Drita or Christine opened it. And so it looks to Kate like a setup. And I get why Kate felt that way. If I didn't know what was happening, I would feel like y'all setting me up too. So now you on my shit list. And it's like, oh well, what do we say about this?
Mhm.
And so I love it. I'm here to see if Tyson could out strategic himself a way out of this game because out of this situation because this is what you're supposed to do. Shine. Let's see you shine. If he get out of it, period. If he don't, sayonara.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so it was only a couple weeks ago that we're we were on here like, oh yes, I love this Final Four alliance of
I
Tom, Tyson, and
do.
New
I
York, and
still
Kate.
did. I did.
But I think after the fact that Kate put Tyson on the block, I don't even know what they call it. It's the
Hit list.
hit
Hit
list.
list.
That's what it is. I think at that point it makes sense that Tyson would be like, I mean, if she ends up on there, it's not the worst thing in the world because she's already proven she's not the best ally, even though I've been trying. So I
Has he
get that.
though?
I think he did. He was trying to make that alliance with her, trying to solidify something with her.
She
And
wanted to
she still put
solidify
him
her
on
thing
the.
with Tom.
Yeah, I
She
don't know.
wanted to.
But she did play that challenge well. It was smart to kind of divide it by however many rounds there are, and then just kind of stick with that number of nut. I was surprised by some of the people that were out early. Tyson being out right away. That was surprising. It was Tyson and Paul,
Tyson
right?
and Paul right at the beginning.
Like
what?
You two should be the ones who have the strategy here. But then we after Kate won Supervillain, which of course she would win Supervillain.
She would win Supervillain.
And we had the moment I've been waiting for. I watched the super trailer, and I tell you, I saw this super trailer, and I'm like, oh, New York with this hair. I need to see this. So this whole season, I've been waiting for this hair, and she comes out looking so freaking cute, the cutest I've ever seen New York. And everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, this looks so good!" Like, it's weird that this is even a talking point as like one of my highlights, but I just love this look for her, and I think she's gonna keep this hair for a while because it popped up quite a bit in the super trailer. But yeah, I love this. I love this. She's adorable. I love New York so much. She had a quote. She had a quote. I had to write it down because she's talking about how she's so close, like her boys Tyson and Tom, which I love that. Look, I don't laugh like this too often, but she called herself. She's like, "I'm Rosa Parks. That's John Adams, and that's John Wilkes Booth."
I said, what do those three people have in common at all? What? What?
I lost it. I lost it. Like, even like doing the Rosa Parks, I'm like, okay, I'm with you. John Adams. Okay. John Wilkes Booth? What?
What? The murderer? John Wilkes Booth?
She just went with another John name from history.
Oh my God. John Wilkes Booth took me out. I was like,
which one is John Wilkes Booth?
I was like, okay, Tom is John Wilkes Booth. Okay, but he's a murderer? Like, what do we do? Oh God. I don't know.
She's like, I'm somebody who stood up for civil rights. Yes. And he's somebody who killed somebody who stood up for
civil rights.
Yeah, that was great.
I was like, does she even know who John Wilkes Booth is? Because my God. I don't know.
But this cliffhanger they left us up on. So I was unhappy Tyson went up. I was unhappy Tom went up. And the way New York was freaking out, I was freaking out at home because I'm like, if New York is on the block and my three faves are all up there and one of them has to go, then I'm not going to be happy. I want them to have like a chance for the three of them to survive. So I need Drita to be on the block.
I think it's Drita. I do think it's Drita.
I really hope so.
I think it's Drita because
I had a dream. I literally had a dream that it was New York. I had a nightmare.
I can see it in New York. I think the right move for Kate would be to put up New York because she's the only one that is going to be on Tom and Tyson's side. Now, if she really wants to take out one of them, either you put up somebody who you know the House is not going to vote against. If New York is there next to Tom nor Tyson, New York stays.
Yeah.
If Tom and Tyson are together, then the one they want to go home, Tyson probably goes home. If you have Drita up there, there's a chance that other people can flip it and put it on Drita and get into other people's heads. Now, the reason I say I think it's Drita is because I think the way Drita was acting in the previews, that it might be Drita. She seems like she's going off and blah, blah, blah. And that's if she puts up Drita, I don't think that's the horrible move for Kate, because everything Tyson said about Drita is true. Drita being in the end, she has not wronged anybody. She has voted for everybody who's left. She's voted
Yep.
for everybody who's left. So those jury members coming back have no bad blood against Drita. They'll like Drita a little bit more. And if they're playing for who they like, they vote for Drita to win this game. So Kate
That's how
knows
this show
this,
works.
and that's
Yeah.
usually how it works. And so Kate knows, knowing this is like, if Drita goes home, it's not a bad look for her. But it's not what she wanted, but she puts up everybody who she doesn't mind going home, and I think that's the best thing for Kate to do. And she did it last time she was supervillain, putting up all three of the people in the orange room. She was like, I don't care which one of them go home, I just need one of them to go. It didn't matter to her. So now she's doing the same thing, and I think if she wants to do this, the smart move would to be put New York up, because New York is not going to go home against any of those people. Now, if she's like, cool, if I take out somebody who could be a threat to me at the end of the game, any of those three could be a threat. Drita, put up Drita. So
even if she does put up Drita, she could probably keep her if she decides that's what she wants to do. Because I'm sure
yeah,
Paul and Christine are going to vote against Tyson or Tom,
Tyson.
whoever's
Yes,
still
I
there.
do think so. I think that,
So
and
it'll
that's
be a
what.
tie.
And she'll be a tie, and she'll be the tiebreaker. So
She'll be
she'll
the
say
tiebreaker.
whoever she wants home. So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen. I think she puts up Drita. It comes down to a tie, and Kate has to send one of them home. So I think either Tom or Tyson or New York or Drita goes home. But I think it's probably one of the boys.
Hopefully
Who
Tom.
Kate
It has
wants
to
to
be
go.
any.
It has to be.
But I am so ready for next week because we get Josh Martinez,
Yes.
we get Jervis Peterson, and we get the Stallionaire himself. We get Chance, and I'm so excited to see Chance.
And Candy Muse.
Oh, and Candy Muse. Yeah, but I mean, I'm not.
I know. That's why I said it. I love that we get to see Josh on another TV show, even if he's not playing. He's just there just to mess with Paul. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And Chance, come on. We haven't seen Chance the Stallionaire since his show. So
Yep.
I want to see how New York right. We're gonna see how New York and Chance, how that works out for them. But period. David, I feel like we have not done this in a minute, and I think it is absolutely time for some reality news.
Yeah, so let's start off with some Survivor news. So we have seen after this latest episode of Survivor, Angelina spent her exit press calling out the editors for the lack of female voices and lack of female representation in Survivor 50. And good on her, because it's so true. Like, this is one of the most underedited episodes, specifically this one, for women, I think since it was like season 43. Like, it's never, like, since then, this is the least representation with considering the percentage of women that are still in the show.
Absolutely.
Chrissy has been doing the same thing. She's been calling out the editors for leaving the women on the cutting room floor. She rebranded this season Survivor 50 in the hands of the bros. Angelina had a long post about it, and she got a lot of support from other people from Survivor, including several people from the season. Tiffany, Camilla, Kyle, Charlie has supported her. There's been quite a few. Savannah. So I'm happy that not only are they speaking out about it, but they're getting support from other people in the cast. I want to see everybody stand up and support this, because they should. Ozzy also has, but like, if people are not willing to say anything about it, that just shows that you are complicit in a way. Like, you're okay with it. Maybe you don't want to disturb the powers that be. But if everybody's in solidarity here, I think that would be amazing, and they wouldn't have a choice but to change things up.
Absolutely. It has definitely been very bro heavy. And it wasn't, we don't get to see a lot of women doing their thing unless a man has something to do with it. Like, we saw this alliance just in this episode happen because Rizzo decides to join D, and Sari and Camilla in that when it was just, because I don't know, it just feels like we don't get to see it. We see Aubrey, she has to go to coach and plead to coach, like, hey, I want to work with you. We see just, just things like that. And so I would love, love, love if they would stop putting the women on the cutting room floors. We saw, like I just said, Tiffany was the MVP of the challenge and she gets no confessionals. Like, what is she doing on her camp? I know
Still only two.
we know Callow hasn't, haven't been needing to have a lot of time because they've been winning, so we don't need to see as much as their camp life. But we would like to see something. Like, give us something. Just do better. Survivor, do better. Um, Fear Factor also, even if, like we just talked about, this had their finale. They have announced at the end of their finale that they're doing a spinoff called Fear Factor 48 Hours of Fear, where they will be releasing a 2 week event, and it's going to start on May 14th on Fox. And the 6 contestants will be forced to compete in challenges over a 48-hour period. They will get no sleep. They just have to go through this whole 48 hours of being awake and doing these challenges. Some challenges we saw on the season, like the paint auction, and then they're going to bring in some more challenges. So, um, I don't know how interested. I'm interested, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out for a 2 week portion of of May. But yeah,
Yeah.
we got a new
It's not a
spinoff.
big commitment, at least, and I'm sure at the very least we'll be talking about it on here.
Yeah.
I don't know about you though. When this preview started at the end, I'm like, wait, they just announced casting for season
Yes.
2 a
Me
couple of weeks
too. I
ago.
said the
I'm
same
like,
thing.
how? How
I
did
was
they
like,
already?
season 2 already done? I was like, oh, a spinoff. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
this was
okay.
not on my radar. I had no idea about this until I saw that preview.
Me either. Didn't know it was happening, but I was like, okay, cool, cool beans. But good on them. They're gonna do it. So we're gonna see what happens. And like you said, we don't know if we're gonna cover it as a full recap on the channel, but we'll probably mention it on this show here. So we'll see you in May, Fear Factor. We'll see you in May. But enough of that. Let's get to some pretty things. It's some time for some drag. We're down to one. That's why I only let you do it. We're only down to one show. We're only down to one
Fair.
show. Yeah, we only need one of us to do it because we got one drag show happening right now. We're only doing RuPaul's Drag season 18, episode 13. And I said it before and I'm gonna say it again. This feels weird. It feels weird to only be down to one drag show at all to watch right now.
I remember doing 6 at the same
Yeah.
time at one point.
At one point we had 6, so it's like now we're only down to one. That's crazy, but some will pop up, I'm sure. But let's talk about this episode of Drag Race. We had the Karen offs. It's the Karen episode where they're doing videos about people being Karens, and I'm like, okay, cool, great. We just lost um Discord, and everybody's like, oh, Discord. Okay, we move. Like, okay. I don't know. I'm gonna let you talk about this episode, and because I like the episode, but I feel like we're gonna have some of our own discourse in this episode.
Yes, I think we will. Yeah, so this I think is the episode that has officially broken the internet. Twitter has gone crazy, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch this episode the night that it aired. So, but I did open Twitter, which I shouldn't have, and I immediately got spoiled. And I'm like, what? What? So I was watching this whole episode knowing where we were headed. So early on in the episode, there was a conversation about how Darlene, she's starting to do better with her track record, and
Mhm.
she turns to Jane. She's like, "Yeah, watch out!"
Mhm.
And everybody laughed. Everybody laughed, but
Everybody laughed.
everybody laughed. But we'll get to
Yeah.
it.
Watch
Yeah.
out.
So we had a puppet challenge, and I didn't think it was terrible. I think there could have been a winner, but it was not the best one.
Mhm.
But I think that if Lana was a judge of puppets, the puppet challenge every season, we would get the same result that we got this week, and
We
that's
sure would have.
no winner for the puppet challenge.
None whatsoever. I hate the puppet challenge. I hate it so much. I don't like puppets. I don't like puppets. You might not know this if you haven't watched us on our drag channel. I am not a fan of puppets. So puppets always freak me out. And this challenge, I'm like, I was hoping they would not do it because they didn't do it last season. Did they do it last season? I can't remember if they
I
did it
don't
last season.
remember.
I don't think they did it because I'm like, I don't remember talking about puppets. It's been a minute since I talked about puppets. And now here we are talking about dang puppets. And I was like, oh no. Yeah, but it was bad. This was bad all the way
Mhm.
around. I was not laughing at anybody. Nobody
I think
made me laugh.
Mikey had some good stuff in there, but I don't know. There were, yeah, it wasn't the best. The worst one though.
Oof,
Who was it? Oh,
Darlene.
Darlene.
Darlene. Two jokes in, and
That
she
was
like,
rough. She was like, "This is 2 minutes." That was the funniest thing. Was her being like, "Oh, it's 2 minutes."
oof. Yeah. I love that the crew won because they had to watch that unedited version of this
So
nonsense.
did
So
I.
I was
I
like,
should get some of that money.
me too. Well, I watched it and I was like, give me some. But I guess it was longer than that, and we still, no, it was bad.
True. True. But we do get our challenge. It's an improv challenge with RuPaul, which I mean that can be intimidating. But I did have
Mhm.
some rankings after watching
Okay.
it. First of all, I will say going into the challenge, I'm like, well, Juicy is not going to do
She's in
well.
trouble. She's in
Yeah,
trouble.
Juicy's
Hmm.
in trouble. But I will give you my rankings starting from the bottom. So
Hmm.
for me, number 5 was Nini, and it was just like the judges were saying. Like it was a good character, but it didn't go anywhere. It was the
Hmm.
same thing consistently. And I wanted levels. I wanted it to feel like there was a story going on, but it was just a lot of shouting and a lot of breaking things.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, she did give Karen energy, so I'll give her
She
credit for
did.
that.
Yeah,
So
right.
so she was my number
I,
5.
I agree with that.
My number 4 was somebody who I thought was funny, but was not a Karen to me, and that was Darlene. Like I get what she
Hmm.
was saying about like the bless your heart thing, but I wasn't even getting that. Like there should be like a subtle jab in it, but she did not feel like a Karen at all. She felt like she was doing pretty good for a different challenge.
Hmm.
So for me, that put her at number 4 overall.
Not my
Um,
number four, but okay.
well, I bet the next one is your number 4. So my number 3 was Jane.
Yes.
Um, I thought she was pretty good. She definitely gave the Karen energy. I don't know why they said that she didn't. For me, I'm going to be so honest here. I felt like she didn't have a good scene partner. I felt like Rue was giving her nothing, and it felt very
Mm.
deliberate. Especially knowing the
Mm.
results when I was watching, I'm like, Rue, you've been doing so well at playing off of things and giving people things to work with for everybody else. Why are you being like you have a wall up for Jane? So there wasn't really much room for it to go anywhere. So I do think Jane suffered, but I think a lot of that was deliberate.
I don't agree with that. I do think Rue gave her some. I think she just didn't catch what Rue was giving her
Mhm.
because I think Rue was the uninterested worker. Like I'm on my break and your plane is already gone. So I don't know what you want me to say about this lady. Like I feel like I don't think she gave enough Karen. I think she gave some Karen, but I don't think she gave enough Karen. And I think her downfall is because she's said herself, I don't watch those videos. That those they just I don't do that. I don't watch those. I don't know what she doesn't watch what these Karens be doing to because she gave uh I want to say high society Karen. She gave a entitled Karen of I'm rich, I'm going to Poconos or the Palm Beach with my friends kind of Karen, like open this plane and Rue's like no and she's like what are you like I don't think she gave enough Karen. Like she wasn't deep down in the Karen aspect of it all. Like Ruth, I think it was one joke Ruth told her was like, when she said she was 285 pounds or
250,
whatever,
yeah.
250, like she should have been like, honey, no, how dare you? I am a good 220 or so, like really give it to her. I felt like she was missing some of the volleys that Rue gave her. But she was okay. I just think it wasn't enough. I think she was in the same for me in the same categories as Nene, because I agree with you everything you said about Nene. I think Jane was just, I think she was a little too held, too preserved instead of a full blown out Karen. Now, was Darlene that much better? No, I do agree. Darlene, I would have had a third, but I feel like only because I found her a little bit funnier, even if it wasn't Karen, it was funny, than Jane. She was not that funny either. She
Yeah.
wasn't
Rue gave
Karen
her a
enough,
lot to
and she
work
wasn't that
with.
funny. But yeah,
Yeah.
and I feel like it's when how they come into the scene that Rue took her cue. She fed off of their energy. I think because
Mhm.
when Darlene's character and Rue's character met, it was just like kismet. Like they
When
just
they celebrated like the Monday thing.
right. It was just like it was just kismet. They just connected. Well, Jane came in with the wall, so Rue ran into the wall and didn't give her as much as I don't know. It just felt
Yeah.
like both of them had the walls. Well, yeah, I
I will
understand.
say Jane is the Karen I'm most familiar with. I spend a lot of time at airports, so I've seen that person a lot. I've seen a lot of people really like think that they like sorry, when the plane
The
door is
gate is
closed, there's
closed.
nothing anybody can do. Like you can
Right.
plead all you want, but I still see it happen all the time.
All the
People
time.
still think something can be done. And I'm like, there's nothing. Wait for the next flight.
Right. It's like
That's it.
you complaining, it's not gonna stop it. And I
Yeah.
have look living in the South, I have seen a lot of Darlene Karens. Oh,
Okay.
bless your heart, honey. Like, I don't know what you're thinking, but I'm a good Christian woman. And I just like,
Right.
doing the wrong thing and they know they're doing wrong, but they want to act like they're not doing wrong. So, yeah, I've seen that.
Okay. Well, it sounds like we have the same top two. So I'm
Yes.
curious if we have the same winner, though.
Mm.
So for me, my number two was Mikey Meeks. Yes. Okay. Okay. I thought Mikey did well. She was
I do too.
probably the most like stereotypical Karen energy,
Hmm.
and she did that really well. There were times, I don't know about you, there were times where I felt awkward watching it because I'm like, I don't know if this is working or not. And I
Mm.
think part of that is because there was nobody there laughing. So it was
Hmm.
just kind of like, is this working? Like, it's kind of funny, but I think she really found ways, like especially like leaning
To the seat
chair
back.
back. Yeah, I thought that was
And
really
how she
funny.
was looking at, like, giving it a side out, just like, mm.
Yeah,
I thought that was
yeah.
hilarious.
So she did really well. Like, and I like how they ended. Was that Drew Barrymore? Yeah.
Love a
So
good
Mikey
call
did
there.
really well. But for me, the biggest surprise of the episode by far was Juicy. Like
Yeah.
I was so into this character. It felt like a fully realized character. It wasn't just a stereotype that we've seen a million times. It felt like she really had a specific idea of who she
Hmm.
wanted to play, who her inspirations were, and she nailed it. Like it was
She
so good. It
did.
was so funny. I'm like, how is Juicy being this funny? She completely
Hmm.
won me over here. So for me, hands down, she would have got the win.
Me too. Absolutely, she would have got the win. I think she deserves it. I think she would. And it just showed, like, I felt like Juicy's character showed that Karens are not just white women. Karens can be
Mhm.
anybody. We can have some very spicy Hispanic Karens, some very black Karens. We can have some very, all Karens come in all different sizes and shapes and colors. So
Mhm.
I think
But mostly
I,
white women.
huh?
But
But
mostly white
mostly
women.
white women. Oh, mostly white women for sure, because they always got to call the manager. But yeah, but it just shows that I just really like she put her own spin on it on this Karen, and I thought it was funny. Like when she was on there and she just was like, Miguel, you're going to jail, lady, Miguel. Because like I laughed so much. I thought she was so funny. I was very impressed by Juicy. I did not see it coming from her. The minute they say improv, I'm like, oh, she's in trouble. She might go be back in the bottom again. But no, she should have won. She should have won.
Mhm. I think one of my favorite parts when RuPaul was like, "Repeat after me: public
Public,
parking."
n- not what you say, not just fine. Something like
Yeah,
that.
it's just something like that.
Loved it.
Yep.
Oh, I loved it. I
Um,
loved it.
Runways, I thought it was an interesting runway theme. Folsom, I don't know if you know, it's the festival they
Better
have
shoes.
out in
Okay.
San Francisco. Yeah, kink stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Wholesome to Folsom. My favorites were Juicy. I love the Alice in Wonderland theming.
Mm-hmm.
Nene, that was really smart to do with the Statue of Liberty. And then Mikey, I loved, especially the bouquet of roses becoming a
Mm-hmm.
whip. I thought that was really
Yeah.
cool. But yeah, it was a good runway overall.
Yeah, agreed. I agree with everyone you talked about. So
Mhm.
I thought that was great.
Yeah. So now let's get to the controversy. Let's get to where we might have a little bit more debating. So we do get our lip sync, and it's between Jane Don't and Nene Coco. For me, and I know this is not the common sentiment on the internet, I thought 95% of this lip sync was super close. Um, I thought they were like you had a more energetic um, energy from Nene, which is great,
Hmm.
and then you had a more commanding energy from Jane, which was
Hmm.
great. For
Hmm.
me, the decision maker on who technically won this lip sync was that impressive backflip that Nene did. They both did
Hmm.
cartwheels at the same time, and then Nene
Hmm.
one upped it by doing that backflip. And I'm like, okay, yeah, Nene did better in the lip sync. I don't think it was significant. I think it was enough that what I would have done is just like they did in season 13, tell Nene she's a winner. But as Jane is walking away, be like, Jane, sorry, we need you to stay. You're still in the competition too. They both should have stayed. Period.
I mean, if she would have stayed, I wouldn't have been mad. She stayed because Jane has been doing really well in this competition. I
Mm-hmm.
just don't think if this was not made for a non-elimination round, she should have went home. If this was a non-elimination round, good for her. She's got her tam in the bottom. She can realize that they can put the fear of God in her and she can get back up again. But this was not that. This was not a non-elimination round. This
It
was
could have been
somebody.
though.
It didn't have to be though. It wasn't like me personally. I don't feel like it was that close to make it a non-elimination. Like she should have. They could have just decided all of a sudden to make it that. I don't think it was that close. I think
Mhm.
if you put in everything that happened in this episode, I think she was at the bottom of the challenge. I think her runway wasn't better than Nini's or her. It wasn't, and I think Nini beat her in the lip sync. So it's like three strikes you out, girl. I'm sorry.
Right.
Unfortunately for you, as well as you did, and I get why people are saying she was, a Rob fifth place queen. I get it. I understand it completely. Do I think she did she, like they couldn't have considered it? Sure. But like why do they have to when it's like when they don't have to? Like if it was that close, like if both of them just ate the lip sync up the entire time all the way through, then sure. I don't think Rue was as entertained from Jane's lip sync that she was with Nini's lip sync, and it's just
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
me
And
watching it. I was more entertained by Nini than I was by Jane.
no, that's very fair. I think we also, like, after seeing a conversation that was had in our Discord server, I think we have a fundamental disagreement on how uh, talent competitions like this should work. Because I want to see the people who do the best and are consistent week after week. I want to see them go to the end. Period.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
I don't want it to become a competition of who is at least just not the worst, because then you could get somebody mediocre themselves all the way to the finale. And we have a couple of people this season that have kind of done that. And that's not entertaining for me. I want to see talent be rewarded. It's the same thing with like American Idol. If somebody I love on American Idol has an off week, I don't want them to automatically go home for that. I want consistency to award them and push them forward, even if they do have that off week. And I want the person who's been less consistent or consistently bad go home instead. And I do think Nene has been more inconsistent, so I think she would have been a better person to go home this week, if somebody had to go home. Jane going home fundamentally feels very, very wrong to me. Arguably the worst decision I've seen on the show, period, just because she has dominated this show. She feels like a no-brainer top two contestant out of this cast. And right now, I've already like not been loving this season, but right now this is probably like a bottom two season for me of US Drag Race.
I mean, I don't think that's the case because in any competition, it's what you do now that makes you go prepare yourself forward. And I don't feel like because like what if somebody has a off week and somebody who wasn't inconsistent has a good week, but they up against each other, and the person who had an off week just because they had one off week but they didn't been pretty consistent the rest of the weeks, and I have a really good week. You still send me home even though I had a really good week? That seems unfair to me. Like you did not do the job that you were supposed to do this week. And that's in any competition. Nobody goes to a competition and expects you to look at my track record and say, even if you have a bad week because you've done so well this other week, you can make it, you should go on. You have to be consistent every week. And if you can't be consistent every week, that's the price you pay in a competition. And so I don't know. I guess we definitely do fundamentally disagree with stuff like that. And
Mhm.
that's fine, but that's fine because I just don't feel like if you do really well all the other weeks and then you have an off week, you deserve to stay because you had a just one off week from all the other weeks. You didn't do well and everybody else did better than you. So we gonna send them home because you did well before. It just doesn't seem fair anyway. That's what competitions is. It's not fair. Life is not fair. Sometimes the best person does not win. That's life. And we just have to deal with it. I don't know. I'm not sold on that idea. But I understand why
Mhm.
people are. I'm just not. That's not my thing.
Yeah, I just want to see the cream rise to the top. That's it. And right
Rise to the
now, a
top and
lot of the
stay
cream
there.
is
She
gone.
wasn't there. She. But see, and here's the thing: Jane has not been as consistent. She had great weeks, but these last couple of weeks haven't been her best weeks either. She
I
was
mean, I
almost
thought
at
she
the
was
bottom
good
for the
last week.
last 2 weeks.
See, and I don't think she should have been in the bottom last week either. Like, you telling me that they didn't look like sisters? What? Are you kidding me? That was a bad judgment call. Like I mean, I do think she's been consistently high. Do I think she's like one of the 10 best queens ever? No, I don't think so. But I think she's very consistent and I think that deserves to be rewarded. And I think she should have been a lock to be in the finale. If they're going to do a top 4 finale, which they've been doing most seasons,
Hmm.
she could get one of those 4 spots,
I
right?
do.
Darlene could have been in the bottom, I thought.
I mean, we agree to disagree on this matter, but it is what it
Sure.
is. Let's move on to some reality news.
Okay, so if you watched this episode of Drag Race, you already know about it. But RuPaul's new movie from the Drag Race universe called Stop That Train is coming out. It is releasing in theaters on June 12th. The trailer has dropped. It looks interesting. It looks like an acting challenge expanded. So who knows how that's going to work out. I think what's funny, though, is this is releasing the same week as Scary Movie 6. So they get some pretty big competition there when it comes to parody comedy films. So we'll see. But there are several Drag Race alumni featured in this film, including, but not limited to, Jujubee, Brooklyn Heights, Monet Exchange, Ginger Minj, and Marsha. And I have heard on good authority that Jujubee did come in third place.
Well, we love to see it. I love that date.
Consistency.
Save that
June
date,
12th.
everybody. That's a good date.
Okay.
That's a very good date. But I don't know if I'm gonna go see it on June 12th, but that's a good date. I love that day.
Fair. Me too.
I really love that day. But yeah, that's fun. We haven't done this in quite a minute, but we're gonna do it now. It's time for dating shows. We have a new dating show on the horizon, and it is Hulu's original Love Overboard, hosted
I
by
get a
Gabby.
break finally.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk. I got something to talk about. It's 9 episodes total. I did not watch all 9 episodes because I'm not gonna do that. I can only watch 2 at a time because I got other stuff to do. It's a lot to watch, but I watched 2 episodes, and I'm going to just talk about these 2 episodes, and then we'll go into. I'll probably do it in 2 episode increments so we can have some stuff on this channel to talk about for dating shows. So we're gonna do that. Um, and I also brought visuals so y'all will know who the heck we talking about because we don't know these people, but we're going to talk about them. Um, the show basically is like this. All of these singles get on a yacht in the middle of the Mediterranean in Malta. and they are going to live on this yacht. Um, and they did what they call a coupling ceremony, where if you, what it's called, toast or toss is what they called it. If you like the person who was standing on the other side of the board from you, you toast it. And if we have a match, you become a couple. If you don't particularly want to couple up with that person, you toss that champagne out and we move on. You don't match. So find out that the first four couples that match up, they will become the ones who live on the top deck. They get the life of luxury. They get to have rooms and, great food, just living it up in the lap of luxury. And if you don't couple up, the rest of these people will go and be downsized and go live at the bottom of the boat and will become the crew. They will help serve the people who are living it up and, live in
Below the
these
deck.
below the deck, and they will live in these tiny cramped rooms with bunk beds. And some of these guys are like 6 feet tall. These bunk beds are not big enough for them, so they hanging off. It's very it's cramped. Apparently it smells bad down there. Nobody likes it. It's hot. It's just a bad vibe all around. So the the couples ended up being Lo and David, um, Lexi and Reese, Sade and Keith, and Inna and who was Inna? Oh, Tim. Inna and Tim. Those are the four couples that ended up being together. And then everybody else went below deck. Now, everybody below deck has an opportunity to get from below the deck to go be on the top tier. And how you do that is you will have to break up a couple from the top deck in order to get your spot on the top deck. So you will have to, there will be times that they can have mingle, they'll mingle and do a happy hour as they're serving or whatever. It's really encouraging the people below the deck to go and break up these couples so they could take their spot and be on the top deck. So the first night, everybody is, the couples are coupled up, they meet up, they go together, they, go to their rooms while everybody else below the deck goes to their rooms and complain about it. Bella, Bella, she has she's an interesting person. She cried the entire time because she's below deck and she hates it. And oh my God, she looks too good to be below the deck. It's so horrible. It's so bad. And she's rooming with Leela, and Leela is like, I don't know how to deal with people crying. I don't know how to handle crying. It's a bit much. And when she finds out she's rooming with her, she's like, "Oh my God, I don't want to do this." It was the funniest thing. Like she just like don't want to do it, but Bella is like, "Oh, I'm gonna make it work." But she's crying the whole time. She's a mess. She's a mess, and I'm just like, "Oh my God, girl." It's bad. It's bad. Um, but Bella is also interested in David. And David is hooked up with Lo at the moment. And David is somebody who I was like, oh no, David with Lo, don't see that working out, because David has also said that he's very into girls with enhancements. He loves a girl with some enhancements, and Lo is as natural can be. She does not have the enhancement. She's not the silicone girls that he used to, but it why he picked her, I think it was more like a if she picks, I don't know, something about it. But Lo and David, I didn't see it happening. Um, but Bella likes David. She thinks he's cute, and she's an enhanced girl. So he's like, huh. Usually, she is my type on paper. But then when Bella has to try to go shoot her shot with David, he kind of swerves her, curves her, and like say, no, because he had time to spend with Lo, and he's like, Lo may not be the type of girl I'm used to, but she's really sweet, she's really nice, she's really pretty. I kind of like her. And I didn't think I would, but I do. So David is maturing right before our very eyes really quickly. He's like, usually I'm type of these enhanced girls, but I don't know. Something about Lo. It's something about her that I like. So Bella is kind of down now because David has kind of swerved her. Then there's someone named James. James is there. He is very much into Lexi, who is with Reese. James is like something about her. I like her. But James kind of shot himself in the foot early on when they first got there, when everybody got there, because Gabby was like, "How's everybody feeling?" And everybody's like, "Oh, we're good. I'm good. We're good." And James said, "I'm horny." And all the girls said, "Ew." Like, gross. Like, ew. He was very showing his 23-year-old brain. It was very gross. And all the girls like, ew, ew. But
He already looks like he doesn't fit in with the rest of this group. Like
yeah,
it's like, oh, how'd you get in here?
right, absolutely. And so he's kind of just like, ooh. Everybody's like, ooh. But James is, he's just kind of like, but he has his eyes set on Lexi. He likes Lexi. He's liked Lexi from the get-go. He told everybody right off the bat, like, Lexi is his type. He wants to get to know Lexi, blah, blah, blah. But Lexi's with Reese, and Lexi's enjoying her time with Reese. Her and Reese are getting along very well. They, just having good conversations. It's day one. Everybody's getting to know each other. Same thing with Sade and Keith. Keith doesn't know him and Sade. They don't look like they will go together, but they trying it out and see. Just want to see if exploring all the options. Um, Reese and James ends up pulling Lexi for a moment, and because Gabby has told the below deck people that she's going to be looking, and that she's going to be picking people to go on dates if they, show some initiative, do something to prove that they are trying to get with that person. So James pulls Lexi at the mixer, pulls it off to the side for a chat. Is like, "Hey, I'm interested in you. I only want to talk to you. I've not been talking to anybody else because I'm only interested in you." And Lexi's like, "That is so very sweet. We like it. We see how it is, whatever." To no surprise, James gets the text from Gabby later on and says that he gets to pick the date for the next day. He gets to pick anybody he wants to pick from above on the top deck to go on a date. And of course he picks Lexi. Him and Lexi goes on this date, and it's a very romantic little date. Like, they have massages or mud massages, so they're putting mud on each other, and a lot of touching going on between the two of them. And then they have to wash the mud off, so they're in the shower together, and all the mud is. It was really sexy, erotic type date, and they had a good time talking conversations as well. They ended up kissing on the date, and they just had a really nice time, a good connection. Um, so this is where we find out where the walk the plank is going to come into play, because now when they get back from the date, Gabby informs Lexi that she has to make a decision if she wants to choose Reese or James, and they will both be on the plank, and whoever she chooses, the other one will be dropped from the boat and eliminated from the game. And so we now know how the plank situation works, and so Lexi is has to make her decision. What's she going to do? Who's she going to pick? And she decides that her connection with James is much stronger than her connection with Reese. And so she picks James, which gagged me a little bit because I was like, I thought James would be a little too immature, but I
I'm
think
gagged.
it's gaggy because I thought she was going to be like, no, James is a little too immature, but I think she likes that a little bit, and I think she likes the fact that he was only focused on her, and their connection seemed really like he seemed like he really, really did like her, and she was just like, for somebody who she didn't know if Reese would talk to other people, but she knew James wouldn't. So I think that was just a connection that she felt. So she picks James. So it was like, okay, cool for her. So Reese is gone and James is there. So they are now a couple. James has moved up from the downside to on the below deck. Now he's on the top deck. That takes us to episode 2, where we get Lexi and James just really bonding now, and they're having their connection. We see Keith and Sade trying to, have that connection. It's still a little slow, not really a lot going on. Um, oh, some of these girls, low in the first episode, I was like, girl, it's day two, and you acting like you and David are married and in love and whatever. Because like Bella showed some interest in David, and she was like, she told Leela, her roommate, tell her that we are pretty much married. Like telling them like to keep it pushing, keep it moving. Where you can't. And I was like, it's day two. You're not. It's not that deep. And it was when I tell you, it was they were starting to already. I was like, this is why I'm not gonna be able to watch this show or binge it the whole time through, because they were already getting on my nerves. Because these girls is acting like these men with their men from like they've been together for years. Like, how dare you even look at my man? Like, how are you calling this man your man when he just got there? It's wild behavior to me. But then episode two, they have a challenge. Because now we have the girls, the top four girls are in this challenge together, and um they have to go out and be on these buoys and be rescued by the men. And the guys that saved them, all the guys are going to swim out and go grab the girl who they want to save. And whoever they, if people below the deck gets to the girl first, then they take that girl. If the person who was above the top deck gets to their girl first, they keep their girl. It's as simple as that. Now, before we get to these challenges, we already see some planning happening, some sneaky alliances. Well, not even alliances, just some planning going on between Bo and Gia, because Bo and Gia like each other, but they're both below deck and they know they have to try to get above deck. So they came up with a plan like, we're gonna go flirt with some of these people to get above deck, and then after we get above deck, we're gonna pull you to come to the top deck with me. Like, we go do that. And because they like each other, Bo and Gia, they have always been, they connected with each other. They don't want to talk to nobody else. So they making their plans. Like, if one of us get above deck, we go stand sure we can get on this date and go, and then we'll pick each other to pull the other one to the top deck with us. So that was a plan. That was what was going to go down in this challenge. Was Bo just knew he had to go out and win this challenge, because if the guy gets to the girl first and it wasn't their, they weren't in a couple before, the girl from above deck can decide, no, I don't want to be above deck with this person. I'm just gonna go to the below deck with my person. Or they can choose to just stay above deck with this new person. Um, so the challenge went, and Corey, he saves Sade, who was with Keith. David saves Lo, so David and Lo are still together. Bo saves Lexi, who was with James, and Andrew saves Enna, who was with Tim. So Enna has already been feeling a little uneasy with Tim, because Tim was also trying to talk to Gia the night before at the mix and mingle. And so she's kind of like, I have these trust issues already. I was with a guy for 6 years and I thought he was the one, and then he cheated on me. So now I really don't trust men. I really don't like men. But I'm like, if you don't like men, what are you here for? But she's like, but I want to try to give it, let it go and, try to get through it. But now I feel like I put all these eggs in this basket with Tim, and now he's doing this to me. And I'm like, he only knew you for 3 days. What are you oh my God, these girls. He was like, this is my man. And I can't believe he's talking to another girl. He don't know you. Y'all been on this boat for 2 or 3 days total. Like, what do you mean? But she's like, I put all my eggs in his basket and I don't know. He doesn't like me and da da da. But it doesn't matter, because Andrew saves Enna. But Andrew turns around as soon as they get back to shore, and he saves Enna. He say, don't pick me. Don't pick me. I want to pick Sophie. I want Sophie to come up. So don't pick me. And if you pick me, I'm sleeping on the floor. And everybody, she's like, hello? What? Andrew is gross. And he's delusional. He's He's the worst. He's so gross. Like, how you go save somebody and then tell them, don't pick me, go downsize so I can bring up somebody else from downstairs too. And so Enna's like, "Mm, I don't like that." So she's pissed. She's like, I don't even know what to do at this point because first of all, Tim, he talking to other girls, so I don't know if I want him in my bed. And then this dude right here talking about he don't even want me, he wants somebody else. So he telling me to downsize so he can pick this other girl. I don't want him in my bed. Like, ugh. She's just in a rock and a hard place. But she chose to stay upstairs because she's like, I'm not gonna downsize so you can bring some other chick up here. No, absolutely not. I'm staying and you just have to deal with it. So he was pissed. Like he was like, he's mad. He's gross. Um, Bo, who picks Lexi, Lexi decides that she's going to downsize herself and go with James because her and James have this connection. She does not want to stay with Bo. She wants to downsize. And she knows, I think she knows that Bo likes Gia, and she knows the second he gets the chance, he's going to, you know, take her out. So she goes and downsizes herself with James. James is very happy for that. David and Lo pick David saves Lo, so they don't have to worry about it. And then who else it? Oh, Corey, he saved Sade. Sade is with Keith. She decides she's going to stay upstairs because she don't want to go downstairs either. She's like, no, I like this life of luxury up here. So, Corey, we can see what happens here. If you want, that's fine. Corey doesn't really like Sade. Corey likes Leela. And so I got a bad feeling for Sade with this whole Corey and Leela situation. So we'll see how that happens. David had a little medical scare because he was feeling lightheaded, like he was about to throw up, like he couldn't breathe. So they had to take him to the doctor. They had to take him to the hospital so they can check him out. And Lo was like, "Can I go with him? I really am concerned." Like she was so concerned. She was caring for him, making sure he was okay. She was rubbing his back. She was helping him breathe. And she was like, she wanted to go with him. And the priest was like, "Yeah, absolutely." So she went with him. And I think it was in that moment David was like, "Oh, I really like this woman. This woman, she actually seems like she cares about me a little bit." And honestly, I did not think they were going to work, but I do think they could work. I think they are the sweetest couple on the show right now. I think they're the strongest couple on the show right now. They are definitely the most fastest couple because when they get back from the doctor and David is expressing his appreciation and how she cares about him, she was like, absolutely. And she was like, he was like, I appreciate you so much. You have no idea. Nobody has ever done this for me before. It's just, you know, that night they was getting it on. So yeah, I think they have definitely become the strongest bonded connection on there. But Sophia has now caught wind of this plan or this the fact that Andrew likes her. And so she's trying to get out this basement. She don't want to be down there no more. So she's like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flirt with Andrew. I'm going to make him feel like I like him. I want him to pick me. We go on this date. And then he picks me to go on the top deck with him. And then as soon as somebody else comes along, I'm out of here with him because I don't. She does not like him. She has said to several people on the boat she does not like him. She don't like him. She can't stand him. She thinks he's weird. He is a little weird. He's a little self-absorbed. Very much. I'm a gym guy. I'm a gym bro, and he's very much into that. He's not interesting. He's not fun. He's just weird and she knows that and she doesn't like him, but she's trying to get from downstairs, so she's going to do whatever she has to do to get from downstairs. So she planned to play David all the way to not David, Andrew, all the way to the see she gets on the top. And so she did it. She talked to Andrew, and he was falling for it, hook, line, and sinker. He was like, I want to take you out on a date if I could. This would be great, blah, blah, blah. And she gets the date. She gets the text that she gets to go on a date with anybody who she wants to from the top deck. And of course, she picks Andrew. So they go on this date. And this was the most awkward date I have ever watched in my history of television of watching dating shows. I've never seen a more awkward date. First, they make them go do tantric yoga. And they're doing tantric yoga with two people, one who likes somebody a lot more, and the other person can't stand that person. And now they have to talk about sex and all this tantric yoga stuff. And then they, after the date, they both agree that they did not enjoy this date. It wasn't a good time. It was weird. It was awkward. And he goes in for the most awkward kiss I've ever seen on television. It was so weird. He goes in for the kiss. She kind of like leans in, but then tries to lean away at the last minute. So it was like it was this weird kiss. It was weird. But everybody on the boat as they're going this date is like, I don't know why she's doing this, because she's just trying to get up to top, because she do not like this man. She has told everybody she does not like him. She right before the date even happens, she's in the window where it's three people and she's like, help me, help me. Like, why would you do that and think that people aren't going to talk? So everybody on the boat is like, this girl don't like this man. And she is playing in his face and he falling for it. And so they come back and they get on the thing on the ship, and they have the ceremony, because now it's time for the ceremony. They get back and it's time for the walk the plank. So Inna is really frustrated because she's like, she knows this girl don't like Andrew, but she knows she might get knocked off this boat because this girl is playing him, and it's just a lot. So she's freaking out, and everybody's like, girl, just tell your, talk your ish, say your piece, say what you have to say on that plank. And so we get on the plank, and Gabby is like, hey, do you have anything you want to say? But to Andrew. And Ina just tells it all. She's like, look, Sophia don't like you. She told everybody she don't like you. She called you weird. She said that she don't like you. She's just trying to get to the top deck. We all see it. We know it. And so now Sophia's like, Gabby, that's so mean. Why would you say that? I would never. I do like him. And all the people behind them are like, girl, please. Like, oh my God. Like, they calling her out like, that girl. So it got to the point of like, who all think that she like Andrew for real? Nobody raised their hand. And Andrew like, and so she's like, oh my God. And she's like, that is so mean. And then you've been mean to Andrew this entire time. And now you're being mean to him now. Why would you say that, Ina? Why would you do that? Now, Ina and Sophia was just running around this boat together like they were besties. Like, oh my God, girl, love you so much. Love you, love you, love you. Only for them to get to this end. And Sophia's like, Ina, you're so mean. Why would you say that when you've been saying that the whole time that you didn't like this man? So it was like, Andrew, who do you pick to send overboard? And he says, the person I want to send overboard is, and that's where they stopped it.
Of course.
But I didn't stop it there because I watched it, because I refused to go for a cliffhanger. So I'm going to give y'all a sneak preview into what happened into episode 3. I'm not going to do that to y'all. I won't do it. Even if they did it, I'm not. He decides to send Sophia overboard,
Good
which
choice.
was the right thing to do because that girl was playing him in his face. And I didn't like how she did it. Do I think Andrew's a good dude? No, I think I want him gone soon, but I ain't want him to go out like that, because she was only going to play him for the next person to come up, and she was going to send him.
But she didn't have any aspirations of who she wanted to be up there with. She just wanted to be up there.
She just wanted to be up there. She didn't say who she wanted to be with. She just said she wanted to be up there. So I was just like,
See,
girl, you didn't even have a plan with somebody else. I would have
like
made a
Bo and
plan with
Gia,
somebody like Bo and Gia. You make that
which
plan.
they're my favorites now. After hearing everything and after looking at them, Bo
Hmm.
and Gia, that's my favorites.
I'm rocking with David and Lowe. I think David and
Okay,
Lowe
I
are
like them
just,
too.
I do like them a lot. I did not think I would like Lexi and James like I do, but I do like them a little bit. But if I had to rank my favorite couples as of right now, it will be David and Lowe, and then Bo and Gia. I think Gia and Bo are really good, and I think they really like each other. But be careful, because Tim is creeping on Gia. So we'll see how that turns out. But
Hmm.
I don't know. That is Love Overboard. I can't watch all 9. I'll watch the rest, a couple more episodes next week, and get it together. But it's not a horrible show, but it's a lot.
Fair.
But
It sounds like a lot. A lot all at once.
hmm but
But
let's
that's
talk
how
about
Hulu
next
does
week,
it.
David. Yeah, that's how Hulu does it. They give you all of it at once, and it's like, whoo, too much, too much, too much. But let's talk about next week, David.
Yeah, so we have a finale coming up. We have the finale for The Masked Singer coming up. So I think there's 2 episodes that they're going to air, both on Wednesday. So we should have a winner next time. So I think it's going to be Normani or Pat Monahan, if that's who those are.
Mm-hmm.
But we also have found out that there's going to be a slight change to the Australian Survivor schedule again. So it's going to be Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday. So
That's
this can't be
annoying.
good for viewership, can it?
It can't be, and it's very annoying for our schedule. But yeah, I'm just gonna say we're going to keep our schedule Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Wednesday. Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna keep our schedules the same, but yeah, it is what it is. I don't know what they doing with Survivor Australia, but sure, go ahead, do it, do what you gotta do. But that is going to do it for us. We have been here long enough talking about all things reality TV this week. Still a great week of TV. Not mad at it. Um, we're gonna be here again next week. So join us every Sunday when we drop our video of this week's reality roundup. Follow us on this channel. If you haven't done so, follow us on all of our other channels. All the links will be in the description below, as well as our audio podcast links, our Patreon, all of our socials at The Cut Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. You can follow David and myself if you want to, but you don't have to. But if you want to, that'd be great. Don't forget to get your merch at lanatcreations.etsy.com. Link is in the description below, as well as the QR code on the right side of the screen. And we're gonna get out of here because we've been talking for 2 hours, so we set it up. But you don't have to go. You can watch more videos, and we'll see y'all next week, y'all. Cheers, everybody. Bye.
Cheers.